and walk. So an hour before daylight, then you're hunting all day, and then you get back to camp after dark, maybe at 8 or 9 o'clock. That's a long day. And
It's a long day.
people aren't used to doing that. I mean, how often do you work out for 15 hours a day?
Not only that, like if you shoot an elk, then you have to take that elk back and you have to figure out how to carry it through the mountains. Like that's where it gets really crazy because like what's the biggest elk you've ever shot?
It's probably a Roosevelt bull I killed in Oregon in 2010, and we're figuring it weighed about 1,200 pounds. It was 12 or 13 years old.
That's a big animal.
Yeah. Oh, it's huge.
Whoa! How long did it take you to carry 1,200? I mean, that's on the bone. So once you quarter it and skin it and take the head off of it and the antlers, how much is it? How much you carrying out?
About 500 pounds. You know, we had it quartered up and then with the hide because I wanted to get it mounted and the head and all that. So we had to carry about 500 pounds, but I had a few guys with me, so, you know, made it a little easier.
Yeah, I guess. You have to bring like a pack crew.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're big animals, and that's part of it. But that's, you know, when you can go into the mountains where an elk lives every day and like you said, with a sharp stick, take it out, harvest it, and then so you're on its home court, and then bring it back to your truck and back to your freezer. That's a powerful experience. You know, that's the whole thing is hard. Everything about it is hard, but to be able to do that, I mean, it's given me confidence to know that in whatever everyday life I can achieve things. You know, because that's about as tough as it gets for me.
Yeah, I've always said that adversity is a very important thing for human beings because if you don't go through adversity, you never know that you can. There's always going to be questions, and every time you do go through adversity, it sort of adds on to your ability and your confidence in all walks of life. It's like this tattoo that I have is Miyamoto Musashi, the guy who wrote the Book of Five Rings. And when I was a kid and I was competing in martial arts tournaments, I read the Book of Five Rings, and I remember this one quote: once you understand the way broadly, you can see it in all things. And once you've gone through the kind of adversity that you must go through to, you know, hike 9 miles into a mountain, shoot an elk, and then bring that giant beast back and then cook it, like, that is you will develop confidence and you'll develop a sense of accomplishment that's very difficult to recreate.
Yeah, and that's to do that. I know how difficult that is, and so in training, I try to simulate that as much as possible. You know, I mean, that's where the carrying the 130-pound rock up the hill, or you know, for training, I've run 100-mile ultra marathons. You know, that type of thing. And basically, I just want to I want to simulate that misery because I want to know what being miserable feels like. If you don't ever know, you never know how you're going to react. Some people might fold up, quit, but so I try to get there and as often as possible.
How did you? Why did you decide a rock? Why not like weights? Well, you can measure weights. Did you try to just go with the rock because it's even more primal?
I don't know. I had been seeing this rock. You know, I run this mountain all the time, so I've been seeing this rock, and I was like, man, I need to get that rock to the top of the hill. And so I did this seminar at Cabela's. And I said, hey, anybody who wants to come up, I'm going to go run the mountain because everybody knows I run this mountain. So they came in for the Cabela seminar. Then I told them, I said, if you run the mountain, I'll give you a free DVD. Just come hang. I just like to work out with people. Just, you know, I like to see people sacrificing. So I said, I'm going to carry this rock up and we can all go do it. And I figured, the rock, I figured it was about 70 pounds. I had no idea. But so I get up there, I have this empty pack and I have everybody there. And I'm like, all right, just hang on for a second. I'm just going to throw this rock on my pack. And I lift it. First time I'd ever touched it. And I was like, wow, this is more than 70 pounds. And so I ended up getting it up to the top. And then we tried to take pictures, I couldn't even lift that thing over my head because a rock is just weird to lift. And so I ended up taking it down off the mountain. I'm like, obviously it's more than 70. I want to figure out how much it is. So it was 130 pounds, but it was just kind of on a whim, I guess, is how that came about. Now it's just my rock.
Now it's your workout rock.
It is. Yeah.
Now, are you allowed to just pull rocks out of the forest? Is there any regulations about that?
I may have poached that rock. No, it's still there. I just carried up and down. I never take it. I took it to the gym to weigh it, but it's back. It's up on the mountain right now.
Oh, okay. So what would you do if you came there and you saw somebody else throw that rock in their backpack? You're like, hey, man.
No, nobody's going to do it. Somebody did. I think they, had seen the rock talked about. So, and I said, hey, people people kind of people question everything for whatever reason.
Sure.
And so they say, oh, that's not 130 pounds. I'm like, okay, well, here it is. Go pack it to wherever you want and weigh it. So somebody did move it like 20 yards. And I did notice that. But other than that, it just kind of sits wherever I leave it.
Well, if it's heavy enough, that's good that nobody will steal it. Or most people won't steal it, I should say.
I don't think they're going to steal it.
Now, when you take that rock up to the top of the mountain, how often do you do this?
I do it about once a week.
Once a week?
Yeah. That's kind of,
wow.
I mix it up, and that's my once a week type, something different. Other than that, I usually just run the mountain. So
once a week, once every 7 days, you carry that. How far are you carrying it?
It's 1.5 miles.
Jesus. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
That hurts my lower back just thinking about it.
Yeah, me too.
Oh. Is there any danger of like doing that's like some serious weight that you're carrying on your back like that? It's an awkward way to carry weight.
Yeah.
And to do it like once a week.
Yeah, I try to think I'm bulletproof, but I've found out that I'm not. And so, yeah, and that's the trail right there. So up the hill with the rock.
That's some serious work. Like the amount of actual physical kinetic work that you have to do to go up a hill with a 130-pound rock on your back like that. Like, man, that's got to get you in some insane shape.
Oh, it helps. I mean, it's just everything helps. Mixing it up. I do a lot of different things, but that's just one of them.
Now, was this something that you had always done, and then when you got into hunting, you just sort of ramped it up, or did you like really get into fitness once you became a hunter?
That's another shirt I have. Ramp it up.
Oh, really? Is it really?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, no kidding.
But no, let's see. So I started bow hunting. I was just a teenager, and I ended up killing a spiked bull elk my very first year. I think it was 18 or 19. And that was, to kill a bull with the bow, where I came from a real small town. I mean, 20-some kids in my graduating class. And so a lot of people hunted, but to kill a bull with a bow was like special. And so I got attention for that. I was like, this is some positive reinforcement. And I'm like, this is after high school, after the high school sports and all that, and trying to find my way, trying to figure out what the heck I was going to do. And so I liked hunting. I liked the challenge of it. I got some positive reinforcement from it. So I'm like, hey, this is pretty cool, because I didn't hardly know anybody who'd killed a bull with a bow back then. And so I was successful. But from there, I just wanted more of a challenge. And then, I started going into the wilderness, into the Oregon's biggest wilderness, Eagle Cap Wilderness. It's 375,000 acres. And so you can get back in there away from people. And I thought, well, now I want to go to the middle of this wilderness, because that would be even more badass. And if I could kill a bull back there, man, that would be the ultimate. And so it was just kind of from there I realized how the physical part of bow hunting, where it was more important. And so it was kind of a progression. I've always ran 10Ks and different things like that, but I figured, man, you can't be in too good a shape to challenge that country. And so I've just, I haven't reached my limit, and I'm trying to try to become what I always say is the ultimate predator.
So it becomes a part of like your whole psyche. It becomes a part of like what you're doing with your life. It becomes the challenge of it becomes almost as important as what you're doing itself. Like you're not just going out and getting an elk for meat, which I'm sure you enjoy elk meat.
Yeah.
But it's also it's almost sort of like a spiritual quest.
Oh yeah. I mean, the most powerful moments I've had have been in the mountains, in the wilderness, after killing a bull, because everything that goes into it. It's not just the fact that I killed an animal. It's how much I respect the animal, how tough the country is back, all the training. It's just a accumulation of all that work and all that investment of emotion and everything else. And so it's spiritual. I mean, by yourself back there is as raw as it gets. It's tough.
And eating the animal that you've killed, I just started hunting. I've only been hunting a little over a year and a half. And for me, the most delicious meals, the most satisfying meals I've ever had is venison that I've killed myself. There's something intimate about it, I guess. You're much more attached to what you're eating. And I've never killed anything with a bow, much less a 1,200-pound bull elk with a bow in the middle of the woods. I mean, that's got to ramp it up another notch.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Because if you're shooting something with a rifle, I shot that mule deer from 200 yards away.
Yeah.
That's pretty far.
Yeah.
You're shooting these animals 30, 40 yards away from you, and they're huge.
Yeah. No, they don't commit suicide. They are, they're used to lions. They're used to being hunted. So to get into bow range, in their red zone, so to speak, that 30 to 40 yards, that's difficult. They're dialed in. They're used to being hunted every single day. I mean, they're never turned off. And so, yeah, it's tough. And then you have just basically a sharp stick, one arrow. We've got the arrows laying over there, and it's amazing how lethal with a razor sharp broadhead an arrow can be. And I've seen, there's videos of huge bulls I've killed dropping in seconds just from that, quicker even than maybe a rifle would kill them. And that's, that's pretty amazing. But
that is pretty amazing. Well, one of the things about you is because of all your training, because of all this lifting and exercise that you do, you shoot a really heavy bow. You shoot a 90-pound compound bow, which for folks who don't know, like a lot of people, they'll tell you, like, you don't need to shoot anything more than 60. But 90, I've never even heard of anybody shooting a 90. I never even pulled one until I pulled yours. I mean, that's that's pretty stout.
Yeah.
So you're sort of like adding to like this whole reason why you're exercising and all this fitness and getting really strong and in really great shape. You kind of have to be in great shape just to use the very weapon that you use to take these animals out.
Yeah. Well, and it's true. You don't necessarily have to shoot 90 pounds. I mean, people do kill. There's women out there bow hunting who are very successful with a 50-pound bow. It's true. You can do it. But, I want to shoot 90. What I want on an animal is I want 2 holes. I want that arrow blowing through, so I have 2 holes spilling blood, and that's how I'm going to recover the animal. An arrow kills from hemorrhage, so not from shock like a rifle would. So to get that hemorrhage, whereas a 50-pound bow might go in halfway and it might get into the lungs and it might kill it. You might get 12 inches of penetration. If I go clear through that bowl and it's maybe 24 inches across, well, there's a 24-inch wound as opposed to a 12-inch wound, and again, we're killing by hemorrhage, and so it's just going to be that much more lethal in my mind. And then if I'm blowing through ribs or through a shoulder, or it's quartering way hard, so I have to go through maybe 30 inches of mass, well, I'm going to be able to do that. Yeah, it's not necessary, so to speak, but it's what I'm comfortable with, and I think it makes me that more lethal of a bow hunter.
How many other dudes are shooting 90 pounds?
I'm not sure.
Is there anybody?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure.
Probably 1 or 2?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure there's some.
Well, I just pulled it back, and I was thinking, when I was pulling it back, I was like, imagine pulling this thing back if you just climbed up the top of a mountain and you're absolutely exhausted, and then you have this one opportunity to see. If you ever had that happen where you're really exhausted to work to get to where the elk is, and then you're so tired you have a hard time pulling the ball?
No.
That's because you train hard.
Right. Yeah. No, that's never been an issue. No.
But it's because you prepare.
Yeah.
For the average person, 90 pounds it's really difficult to lift. I mean, you're using 2 hands, sort of, but a bulk of the work has got to be in your right arm, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. Where I think would be more difficult is if you're sitting in a tree stand for hours, freezing, and then a buck walks by and you have a 90-pound bow. That would be hard. That would be because you're not warmed up. You're not, active. So that could be difficult. But I had that bow for a late season hunt back home, and it was cold. It was like 7 degrees, and I'd been up there for hours, and I'm just like, okay, this is going to be a test now if I can pull this back, and I was able to, and so.
Well, it's just because you train so hard.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, if I didn't do what I do every day, there's no way.
That's great. I mean, how many other guys are doing that? How many other guys are like in shape and treating this almost like a sport?
There's more. There's more doing it now, especially guys out west. But I get emails from Georgia, from people. It just and what I found is that, like you talked about earlier, it kind of gives your life purpose. Everybody has a job, people have families, everything else, and they just kind of they need to find something that can define them or motivate them. And now all of a sudden training for hunting is something. You know, before that was, nobody ever did it. So now maybe that is what's making a difference in their life. And so, and I still get people who they don't like it. They don't like feeling like they have to train to hunt. And so I get criticized a lot for my approach also. And
what do they say? Oh, what are you doing? Getting in shape? What are you doing? Getting strong and healthy, asshole.
Yeah,
what kind of criticisms do they come up with? I would love to hear those.
Yeah, it's pretty. I don't know if it's funny. It's been irritating, but I just kind of blow it off. But
has it actually irritated you?
Yeah, a little bit.
You got to get tougher. You got to work on that aspect of your training.
Okay, I do definitely. But they'll say stuff like, "Oh, Cameron says you have to be able to run a marathon to kill an elk," right? Which is, I've never said that. I do that, but you don't have to. And or I saw something the other day that says, "Oh, my approach is what's wrong with hunting today." It's like,
being healthy and strong.
I guess, I don't know.
Not eating sugar, not drinking alcohol, eating healthy foods, and working out. Yeah, you're what's wrong with the world, man.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
All these healthy fuckers out there ruining it for everybody else.
I know.
All these fat guys like to sit in tree stands and blow farts. They're upset. Guys like you are out there doing something exciting.
I guess. I don't know. So anyway, I get criticized just because, hunting in hunting for some people is kind of just a getaway, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a vacation.
Sure.
It's not something you want to gear your life around, and that's okay. I get that. You don't have to train every day if all you're looking for is just to get away and relax.
There's nothing wrong with that in any endeavor, whether it's a game or a sport or even martial arts. I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking a martial art class once a week just for exercise. Like my friend Joey Diaz, he's big, he's overweight. He takes jiu-jitsu all the time. He's not trying to get his black belt. He just wants to get his blood pumping, get a little workout in there. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
And then I have another friend who's beaten world champions. My friend Eddie's a black belt and like one of the best in the world. So it's like those both approaches are okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to be obsessed with something and pursue excellence, and it's okay to just enjoy it as a pastime.
Yeah.
The problem is that the people that enjoy it as a pastime, they're always gonna they just get this little nagging thing in the back of their head for some of them, like especially the weak ones, that they realize that you do it better than them, or they realize that if they went hunting with you, they couldn't keep up, or they realize if they ran with you, they can't keep up, or if they realize they tried to lift with you, they couldn't lift as much. So they're like crabs in a bucket. You know what crabs in a bucket are like?
No.
If you have a bunch of crabs in a bucket, one crab tries to get out of the bucket, and the other crabs grab them and pull them down.
Gotcha.
And that's what always happens.
I guess.
It's just, that's the number one problem with the world, is crabs in a bucket.
Yeah.
The number one problem with this world is people, instead of being inspired, they look to criticize. People, instead of looking at someone who works hard and does something amazing, and looking at their own life, they find fault or they find weakness or they find themselves not to add up, not to measure up. And so they get upset. And instead of finding that inspirational and say, you know what, I do have a belly. I do need to get to the gym. You know what, I do drink too much. I got to stop doing that. Instead of that, they just start shitting on this one thing that causes them to feel insecure. Not even realizing that that one thing has the potential to empower them.
Right. Now, I don't know if, that could be what's going on. But
It's 100%. Those fat fucks. It's 100% what's going on. It's 100%, man. I know it because I've felt those feelings. I've felt insecurity. I felt jealousy. I felt all that, especially as a young man before I figured out how to train my mind and how to embrace someone who's better than me and embrace someone who inspires me and look for it amongst my peers, look for it even amongst my enemies. I try to be inspired by people I don't even like. I try to, like, if I find someone that I think is like someone who's a bad comedian, who's a joke thief, but they work hard, I try to take that aspect of them that works hard and only concentrate on that and find inspiration in it. Because then they become valuable to me. Right. Then I can see the negative aspect of their behavior and that becomes valuable to me because I realize it reinforces what's bad. But then the good aspects of it, whatever it is, you could find just something in someone that you don't even like. You could find like something that they do that can inspire you.
Right. And, I don't want to, I get mostly all positive. And people inspire me. They say that I've helped or motivate them and this and that. That inspires me also it holds me accountable. You know what I mean? Because now I've created this thing and it's what I love, but it also holds me accountable. Like, hey, I got to keep it up for the people.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so 99% of what I get is positive, but it seems like you remember the 1%.
You got to train yourself to not do that.
Yeah.
That's mental training.
I hear you.
Mental training as well as physical training. Believe me, man, I've gone through it. And what I say is that it's like snake bite venom.
Mm-hmm.
Like when a snake bites you, if a snake bites you for the first time, I mean, you're fucked. You're sick. You got to go to the hospital. You got to get anti-venom. You're in a lot of trouble. But if you just get a little bit of venom every day over time, after a while the snake bites you and you're like, bitch, get out of here. That shit ain't gonna
Built
work
up
on
tolerance.
me. Yeah.
Yep.
You
Gotcha.
develop the ability to understand what it is.
Yeah.
And I feel sorry for people when I just see ridiculous criticism. I laugh. Like, someone will come into my office sometimes, like my wife's like, what are you laughing at? I'm like, some guy's making fun of me. It's just hilarious. I just reading what they say about me makes me laugh.
Yeah.
If I really thought they were right, it would bother me.
Right.
But if I have done what I need to do and I've done all the work and I've assessed myself and I'm objective, then I can find folly in their weakness.
Right. Yeah.
But you're an inspirational dude for sure, because you inspired me. I saw some of your videos. I said, I like a guy who's going for things. I like a guy it's not easy to run an ultra marathon. It's not easy to take a 130-pound rock, put it in a pack, and walk up to the top of the hill. When I see people doing stuff like that, I get like this, it like ramps up inside me, and I want to go work out. I want to go do something. I want to get shit done. Mm-hmm. I think people like you are really important. The type of people that do things like that, they provide energy for countless other people, whether you're aware of it or not. You know, I know that you did to me, so I know that I'm not unique in that. And I know that other people who watch your videos feel the same way. They get excited about it, and you cause motion. You cause effort. Because of what you've done, you get people excited, and that inspiration actually causes things to take place.
Yeah. Well, thanks. This is, it's what I love to do. It's and it's just preparing for crunch time, basically, getting out there and preparing to be the ultimate predator, not fail when all the like when we're filming for a TV show. There's a lot of pressure. These hunts can be expensive. You're traveling a long way, away from your family. There's a lot at stake. There's a guy with you who's being paid. There's a big investment. So I don't want to fail when it comes down to that moment. Not only for me, but for other people who sacrifice. So that's basically what the work's about.
And I think it's cool too that you feel that people are inspired by these things, and it actually like motivates you to ramp it up another notch, to keep it going even further.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't hit my ceiling. I'm trying to get better every day.
It's just such a badass, manly approach to life. Elk hunting with a bow and being an expert at that. Do you have a regular job?
Yep.
What's your regular job?
I'm supposed to be at work right now, actually.
Oh, really? You got off? You got a good boss?
No, they think I'm sick.
Oh, really?
No.
They're going to find out. This is a bad move, then.
No. Let's see. Yeah, I'm a buyer for the local water and power company back home. So I've done that for 18 years.
So you do that 40 hours a week?
Yep.
And so how do you find the time to do all this other stuff?
Just make it happen.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just what I do. So, yeah, I mean, you know how it goes. I'm sure you've been there before where if I don't get my workout in or if I don't do it, I'm just in a bad mood. You know what I mean? So we just make time to make it happen, and it's just what I do.
Well, there's the other part about working out, about the bad mood part, is that your body sort of develops this habit of pumping out energy.
Right.
Like when you get in shape and you get your body like really fit and you get your body used to exerting these big explosive bursts of energy like lifting or jiu-jitsu or whatever it is, your body sort of like ramps up for that and then is like, hey, where's my release?
Right.
Like, hey, we're ready to go. Hey, we're ready to go. Why are we in a fucking office, man? Like, what's going on here? We're going to kill something. I'm going to shoot a bow at somebody. What's going on? Why can't I lift weights?
Yeah.
Hey, this is kind of crazy. And you don't have that release. And I think our bodies are probably designed for a certain amount of that, being that we were, for who knows how many thousands of years. We were hunter-gatherers, and we essentially share the same DNA as those human beings that lived 30, 40,000 years ago. There's not much of a difference between us and them. There's got to be a lot of the old reward, the reward mechanisms of life, like still in our DNA. And I think that people who don't exercise those reward mechanisms, you're missing out on a lot of what it is to be a person, a lot of what it is to be like excited by life. It's there's something like pretty intense about just fulfilling those reward mechanisms. And
Right.
I think hunting is one of those that I didn't realize until I started hunting. I really didn't realize like what an intense connection your like your mind. I want to say your spirit, but that's that's a word that's been hijacked by so many shitheads wearing crystals around their neck.
Yeah.
But it seems like there's something in you that like it opens up this weird path that like, oh, you didn't even know this was there.
Mm-hmm.
This predator path, this path of connection to the animals, connection to the wild world, going out there and getting an animal and eating it. And I don't even mean it in like a macho, like, look how cool I am way. I really mean it in a spiritual way. There's this weird spiritual connection you have to the Mother Earth when it provides for you, to the animals of the wild itself when you go out and you get one and then you use it for sustenance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and that's, people who think it's just about getting meat, like I think you were talking with John Hackelman. He didn't really understand hunting at all.
Yeah.
But, did they think it's akin to going to the store and buying a steak? It couldn't be further from the truth. I mean,
It's the exact opposite of that, really.
yeah, you're getting meat, and yeah, you're eating it, but it's a connection. It's everything else that it's all about. That's where the power comes from. And man, without that, I don't know. I mean, that's everything to me. That's my life. Just gearing up for that is what I do. So.
Well, I do a lot of exciting things. I'm a very fortunate person, and whether it's stand-up comedy or whether it's working for the UFC, the things that I do, I truly love doing, and they're very exciting things. I mean, when the UFC starts, when the fights are going on, I never feel like I should be anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm always very excited to be there. Hunting's even more exciting than that.
Yeah.
And it's accessible to everyone. Whereas, like, not everybody gets to be the commentator for the UFC. I'm
Right.
lucky for me, I'm the only one. Or, there's a couple other guys that do it when I'm not doing it. But
They're not as good.
thank you very much. Appreciate that. I think a lot of them are really good, but that's to me. But you know what I'm saying? It's like that's a job that maybe 5 people on the planet get to do.
Right.
As far as do commentary for MMA. 3 in the UFC. But hunting is everybody can do it.
Yeah.
A lot of people can do it.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing that I really like about your approach. You go on public land.
Mm-hmm.
You do it in the national forests. You do it in the areas where they're accessible to all these folks.
Yeah.
You can get a tag just like everybody else. You get your license just like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And you go out there and you're not like doing one of these canned hunts. This is really like the American wilderness that you're entering into.
Yeah, and that's I have done, so I've had guides like when I go someplace where guides required, Canada or different places, but where I basically made a name for myself was in the wilderness by myself on those solo hunts. And to tell you the truth, I was worried. I think I wrote an article is either 99 or 2000. I went with my buddy South Cox. He's from California here.
The dude should change his name.
No, he's a stud.
At least North Cox is like,
South's a stud.
yeah, what the fuck? Your parents hate him or something? Why would you call him South Cox?
It's COX.
Oh,
So
whatever. Courtney.
Yeah. So we went and we both killed good bulls, and I killed a buck also. And I wrote this article about it, and the photos were awesome. Just the whole experience is good. And I thought, this is going to screw up my hunting because this is public land. This is Eagle Cap Wilderness. And this is probably the last time this hunting's ever going to be good because people are going to see this and they're going to want to do it. And now where I didn't see anybody for years, there's going to be tons of people. Well, next year came around, I went back in there, there's nobody there. And so, I ended up writing a book about that type of hunting, and still nobody was there. And the bottom line is, yes, it's available to everybody, but it's very tough. And you're 12 miles from the nearest road and you're living off your back in some of the most unforgiving country there is, that's just never easy. And so people try it. And I've taken friends back there who I wanted to love it as much as I do. And, we're back there for a day, 2 days, and they're like, dude, I'm ready to go. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You're ready? This is as good as it gets. They're like, isn't what I expected it's going to be like.
My feet hurt.
Yeah, no. And so the thing about it is, just because you love it, not everybody's going to love it. And it's something that you can't make them.
No.
And so they see the photos, they see the video, they see the animals, and they're like, man, that is awesome. I want to do that too. Unless it's in you, it's just going to be a struggle. And so it is available, but it's still tough.
It's like taking someone who's a rap fan to your favorite country concert. Mm-hmm. And they're like, Jesus, what's wrong with you? And you're like, come on, man.
Yeah. No, it's got to be, it's not for everybody.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about life. There's a lot of choices. Mm-hmm. There's so much variety. There's so many different things that you could be into. One of the real problems with life is people want you to be into what they're into.
Right.
And if you're not into what they're into, there's something wrong with you. Mm-hmm. Or if they're not into what you're into, there's something wrong with you.
Right. But the thing about that is I don't need anybody to be into it. So I was just like, my buddy Roy, who I started hunting in the wilderness with, he moved to Alaska, and he's just a stud. He was my partner. We both had the same mindset that there's no sacrifice too great. We can't be in enough pain. It doesn't even matter. And he moved. So I'm like, okay, I need to find somebody. I tried to find somebody to take, and eventually I figured out there's nobody like Roy Roth. So I'm just either going to quit hunting there or go on my own. And so I just was like, it's on my own. And so that's where I started doing the solo wilderness hunts. And, this, like I said, it's a good thing about you don't need anybody else. People don't like doing it because you're so far out of your comfort zone. We're so distracted with everything that's going on in the regular world that being in the wilderness where there's nothing is overwhelming for a lot of people. It's just, it's difficult mentally.
Yeah, just being alone in the wilderness is got to be like a very rare experience. Like people freak the fuck out when they're alone in the wilderness. That's a scary thing for them because they worry about getting trapped. They worry about getting injured, not being able to get out. No one's going to be able to find them. Like if you don't have a satellite phone and a backup satellite phone and a handgun, there's a lot of fear involved in being in the actual wild itself.
Yeah, and they worry about stuff. They make up stuff to worry about. Just to give them a way out. And so that was true for me too. It was overwhelming for me. I didn't go back in there in the mountains for a 10-day solo hunt right out of the gate. I went for like one night. Like I went on a scouting trip and then stayed one night, then came out. And it's just kind of baby steps into it because it's, if you polled, I don't know how many people there are here in LA, but how many people have stayed out overnight in the mountains by themselves? It's not going to be very many people. It's, I don't know. 5.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just not something people do in this day and age. And so it's because it's you're out of your comfort zone. But if you can do that, and I became good at that. And actually then I loved it. I remember, let's see, it was, let me think whatever, I can't remember the year, but I killed a 6x6 bull elk by myself. And it was my best bull. And I got out of the wilderness, had this little Toyota 4-wheel drive. I had this bull loaded up, and I was just so pumped. Finally got cell service out on the highway. And I'm driving home, and I called my wife, and I was like, hey, Trace, I killed a 6x6 bull. And she's like, Princess Di died. I'm like, what? She's like, Princess Di died. I go, who cares? I killed a 6x6 bull. And it's just like, you're so... to everybody else, Princess Diana dying was just like, the world's going to stop. But when you're back in the wilderness and you killed a 6x6 bull elk, nothing else matters. And I just remembered that's the difference between living back there where it's just about, am I going to find a place to sleep tonight? Am I going to be warm? and we'll have food. That's it. That's all you care about.
Well, we're inundated by information these days. We have like constant information coming at us from all around the world. The 7 billion people in the entire planet provide stories. So anytime anything happens that's interesting or extraordinary or scary or disgusting, you're going to hear about it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just sit in front of your computer like I do some days, man, I get on Twitter and I just can't stop clicking. I'm just like, what? That's not real. Oh my God, it is real. Holy shit. And I retweet it. And then, you know, like you could lose your day. Your day, it doesn't exist. What you're doing is you're just collecting all this information from around the world.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not your life. Your life is just Cameron Haynes, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. What do I see through my eyes?
Yeah.
Where, you know, who's around me? Where are my loved ones?
Mm-hmm.
That's your real life.
That's it.
But, you know, you're sitting and wondering about whether or not, what if when you shot the arrow, right as that arrow hit that bull, Princess died?
Wouldn't
that be fucked?
Oh, that'd be crazy.
That'd be strange.
Maybe somehow, some way, I killed her.
Maybe. Yeah, look, stranger things have happened. If you believe in those things, if you believe in the synchronicities of the world, that would be crazy. That would be quite poetic. Because if your wife's like, Princess died, and you're like, yeah, I know, yeah, right through the lungs. It was a double lung. She was in the form of an elk. She was a spiritual elk.
Right.
She bugled, and I shot one right through the lungs.
She was hot, but not as hot as that bull elk at that moment. So I don't know. Maybe if that was like an 8x9 bull elk, it could have been her.
I don't think you're supposed to say she was hot. I think she was royal. She was not really hot.
She had some royal hotness.
You think so?
I think so.
Not my type. I don't think she
Princess
could get down.
Di.
I don't think she could get down.
I thought she was partying when she died in a car wreck, right?
Well, she was running away from the press, right? Wasn't it like a paparazzi situation?
With a boyfriend
I don't think
or
she
something.
was partying. Yeah, she had a boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
Was up? She was breaking up with Princess Charles, and her life was in turmoil. That makes her hot. It's not my type. I'm not into that kind of chick.
Okay.
She doesn't seem like she could get down. But that's just me. I mean, all due respect. Rest in peace, Mrs. Di. Yeah. That's a thing, though, man. People do really get caught up. Like, my wife tried to tell me some stupid celebrity shit the other day, and she was going on about something. Can you believe it? This said that and that. I'm like, baby, I don't give a fuck. I literally don't give zero. I give zero fucks. Like, let's stop talking about this. There's so much shit to talk about. But those salacious, gossipy things that gets people so interested. It becomes so fascinating. It becomes overwhelming. I'm guilty of it too, man. Somebody put some thread on my message board the other day about, it's probably bullshit, but it might be true, that Bill Clinton had an affair with Elizabeth Hurley. Did you see that? Man, I thought about that shit all day. I thought about it all day. I kept going back to the thread, seeing what new developments. First of all, I got two things out of that. First of all, Tom Sizemore can't keep a fucking secret. Whatever you do, don't tell Sizemore who you're banging, because that motherfucker spills the beans. Don't trust heroin addicts with the truth. That's one thing.
I'll write that down.
Yeah, trust me. And the other thing is, I think that Bill Clinton is the last of the great American presidential dick slingers. That's it.
Playboys.
It ends with him.
Mm-hmm.
There's you can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
We are going to be reduced to not that there's anything good about being that guy, because obviously he was kind of a creeper.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, Bill Clinton was one of those weird guys that would just like whip it out on girls. Like if you I didn't talk to, but if you read some of the accounts of some of those women that were like really angry at him from Arkansas, he would get alone with them and just whip it out. There's him and Hurley. For sure he hit that, right? God damn. Woo! But that's it. We're not going to have any more of those guys.
No. And when you're talking about different things, here's how it affects me. So people talk about, well, Obama did this or that. I'm like, okay, do I have to go to work tomorrow? Because if I have to go to work tomorrow, not much has changed in my life. If I don't have to go to work for some reason, then I'll start paying attention. That's how I figure it out.
Well, that's a good way to look at your own life. And that's a good way to manage your own life. The problem, of course, is that this is supposed to be some sort of a community. Our country is supposed to be some big giant community, and the people that are running this community, that are in charge of dictating the rules and the regulations, are clearly screwing it up. Clearly. This is not the optimum way to run any country. I don't know if it's possible to optimally run a country with the mess that's been created before the people that got into power, before they got into positions of having any control. There's probably so much bureaucracy and crazy shit behind the scenes as far as like special interest groups and lobbyists, and the massive web is probably so deep you could never hack through it all, clean it all up, and come up with some sort of a rational system. So you got two options. One, you could obsess on it and work feverishly until your fucking heart stops beating, and then you die an angry person. This system sucks. Yeah. Boom, and your heart blows in your chest, and you fall down and shit your pants and die in agony. Or you just live your life saying, okay, I'm going to leave that shit to somebody else, let them run it,
yeah,
and I'm going to go wandering through the woods with pointy sticks. I like your approach better.
Well, I think whoever is running the country, they do a much better job if they were bow hunters. If they had been in the mountains and actually tried to survive, and then maybe even killed an animal and that was took it back to their family, I think they'd probably be a better commander-in-chief.
I think that's probably true. I think if they were a martial artist, they'd probably be a better commander-in-chief. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Putin. I think Putin is kind of a psycho, but I respect the fact that he's a black belt in judo, and he is, he's a real martial artist, and he sort of carries himself in that way. Mm-hmm. Like if Obama and Putin were going to throw down, Putin would fuck Obama up. That bothers me. That disturbs me. You know, I wish my president could kick a little ass.
Well,
not that it's the most important thing in the world, but
supposedly he plays basketball, which every video clip I've seen of him playing basketball, he looks like he sucks at that too. So
supposedly he plays pool, and I'll fucking give him the 6 out in the breaks anytime he wants to gamble. Let's do it. Let's do it, Obama. Come on, you got a spot. I think that any like very, very difficult thing that anybody does, whether it's bow hunting or martial arts or anything where it's incredibly difficult to accomplish something, it sort of separates the people that will quit from the people that figure out a way to succeed. Mm-hmm. And that's really that overcoming adversity that's where character comes from. And that's the things that we all admire. Mm-hmm. And that shit's hardwired into us, man. The admiration of that, like, just as simple as me watching your video of you carrying that rock up a hill. I mean, is it important that you carry that rock up a hill in the greater scheme of the universe? No, it's not. But to me, it was. Because to me that day, I was like, this motherfucker's doing some shit that I probably can't do right now. And when you see that, it makes you like, I want to be able to carry that rock up the hill. All right, well, if I'm going to fucking start out with a 35-pound plate, I'm going to carry that up the hill. I'm going to work my way up to that big rock. And that, that inspiring each other and the ability to push yourself to these incredible heights is really one of the more exciting aspects of being a person. Mm-hmm. It's one of the things that makes being a man or a woman, I mean, I guess being a woman, I'm not a woman, so I don't know. I've thought about it sometimes, what it would be like. But it makes it gives you thrills. It gives you excitement. It gives you like these feelings of accomplishment when you achieve things. They're some of the greatest moments in life. Mm-hmm. And I feel bad for people that have never stuck their neck out. I feel bad for people that have never taken chances. Not because they're less, because they're not less. They haven't reached their potential. It's not that their potential is less. I feel like probably inside all of us, we all have the potential for greatness in one way or another. As long as we don't have any obvious physical problems, we didn't get dealt a terrible genetic hand of cards, mm-hmm. With a disease or something like that. But if you don't have that, I think all of us have potential. I feel bad for people who don't at least attempt to reach a potential in some way.
Yeah, and that's, for me, I don't feel like I'm any different from anybody else, because I've been. Back in my early 20s, I remember I signed up for a 10K race, 6.2 miles back home, and quit. I mean, I had been partying. I was, 19 or 20, and just whatever, not in shape. And I'm like, why am I doing this? And stepped off the course. And that I'll never forget what that moment felt like, being a quitter. And that that is crazy. But the point is so if I've been that guy who quit a 6-mile race and I've come and now, have done, what I can do, or what I finally believe or figured out I could do, anybody can. You know what I mean? I'm not like crazy talented or have all this ability that just is natural. It's just, but it's what I'm doing and what I chase and what I work for every day. And I've been able to achieve what some might consider, big accomplishments. And I'm just a regular guy.
You're a regular guy, but you're a regular guy who puts it out there. And when you put it out there, that's what creates that energy. That's what creates that inspiration. That's what creates action. Because people will watch your video and go, man, I'm going to the fucking gym. Mm-hmm. And they'll go to the gym and they'll start lifting weights, or they'll do whatever it is that they do, they'll get inspired by your hard work. They'll watch that video of you getting up early in the morning and going running when you don't want to.
Right.
And they see you tired. Everybody feels that. Everybody's seen that alarm clock go off or heard that alarm clock go off. I'm like, I do not want to get up now. That everybody knows that feeling, but it's overcoming that feeling.
Right.
It's developing that muscle of discipline where you look at that alarm, you hit it, and you just get up. I had an ex-girlfriend back when I was fighting who she used to get angry at the way I would get up. Because she had to work, and I was a comedian. I had a bunch of different like small time jobs. But when I would get up, I'd get up angry because I had this thing that I would do in the morning, like before my morning workouts when I was training. I would the alarm clock goes up, and I would get up like my life depended on it. So the alarm would go off, I'd hit it, and I'd just fucking jump out of bed like the house is on fire. Because I was like, that's the way to do it, because anything else is weak.
Right.
Like I had a real problem when I was young. Like I was so crazy when I was, I competed in martial arts from the time I was like 15 till I was 22. That's all I did. And I was so crazy that I thought it was weak to want sex, that like wanting sex with my girlfriend was like a weakness, and that pleasure was a weakness. Wanting to taste good food was a weakness.
Right.
And so I was
going to be miserable.
I was fucking crazy. I was completely crazy. But I would that alarm clock would get up. The alarm clock would go off, and I would get up angry.
Yeah.
I would get up angry and urgent, and that's how I'd wake up. I'd just wake up instantly. We gotta go, and I'd get my shoes on and do my run or whatever I did that day in the morning.
Yeah.
And and she would go, "Will you fucking stop doing that? You fucking drive me crazy. You get up. I think the house is on fire," or something like that.
Yeah, she's overacting.
Got rid of that bitch. Got a better one. It wasn't she was overacting. I was fucking crazy. I wouldn't have wanted to hang out with me when I was 19. I was a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
But, that's probably better than hitting that fucking snooze button 10 times in a row.
Yeah.
Developing the discipline, the muscle of discipline. I get that through inspiration. I get that through knowing that they're like watching a video of you seeing that alarm clock go off, knowing that you're tired, getting up and working out. Like you Instagrammed a picture from Vegas when you were at the SHOT Show. Yeah. You looking totally exhausted and you're lifting weights. I'm like, fuck yeah, he's doing it. That's what you got to do. Yeah. You don't want to lift weights? Good, go lift weights. Yeah. You're tired?
There's always an excuse.
Fuck yeah, there's always an excuse. Yeah. But when you get through it, you realize like life is a lot of times not about doing what you want to do. Life is about doing what you're supposed to do or what you should do, and then knowing that when you want to do it, it'll be even easier then.
Yeah. No, that's part of my routine, and people always ask, well, so what do you do? What's your routine for getting in shape? I'm like, it's real simple. Actually, I got it on my shirt right here.
Lift, run, shoot.
I lift, run, shoot every day. Well, what about, so every day? Every day.
You don't take Sundays off? Nothing?
Every day.
You don't take a day off a week for anything?
Every day.
Wow. That's interesting to me. I take some fucking days off.
Every day to the bottom.
I take days off, son. I like days off.
And people post, hey, I would like days off too, but I can't do it. I just
can't do it mentally?
No, can't
do it.
Really?
That's interesting.
Yeah. But, and people, this one guy, I remember, he posted on my, I don't know where it was, Facebook, I think. He's like, yeah, I've been following you for a long time, but, everything you're doing now is just too much. I'm like, too much what? Too much for who? Too much for you or too much for everybody. And so that was like my whole thing is now I want to be the guy who does too much. Because how do you do too much?
Right.
Too much for, I mean, who determines, is there a council that says, okay, it's been determined you're doing too much? So
I know what you mean. Yeah. Yeah. Well, what we used to think is too much is now the norm.
Right.
You know, I mean, if you stop and look at like as far as like exercise, like think about like what people used to do for exercise and now what people do now. Like no one trains harder than MMA fighters.
Right.
And MMA fighters, if you deal with a guy like say, a George St. Pierre or a John Jones, they're training twice a day at least twice a day.
Yeah.
And they'll take off recovery days. Or like Randy Couture, who used to take very few off days, he would do what he would call active recovery. So instead of wrestle, lift weights, maybe he would go mountain biking. Maybe he would do something like, something like where he's moving, he's getting some exercise in it, but he would do like what he would call an active recovery day. Maybe he'd go hiking, It would still work, but you're forcing your body to understand that your body, this is what you do, dude. This is what your body does.
Yeah, and it might, I mean, for those guys especially, and it might be for 1 minute. Their fight might be over in a minute.
Yeah, could be.
So they're doing all, like I watched Uriah the other night. I know how hard he works, and first round over.
Yep.
That
was a very unfortunate ending too. And it was very unfortunate for Uriah in a lot of ways. First of all, he went into that camp right after the McDonald fight, and he had an injured knee and an injured hamstring entering into the Barao fight. So he had a pulled muscle in his hamstring, a partial tear, and his knee was fucked up, so he couldn't wrestle. So not the most optimum conditions to be fighting, not just for a world title, but against easily one of the 4 baddest motherfuckers to walk the face of the planet. That Renan Barao is he is a beast.
Yeah.
That kid is so good. And he hit Uriah with one leg kick early in the fight. And you see Uriah's leg give out. You see that limp. There's a limp that a guy gets when you know that shin really slammed into the meat of the muscle. There's this like stutter step that they give. I was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Long night for Uriah. And then he got tagged.
Yeah.
And even worse that unfortunately he got Steve Ranella. Do you know Steve Ranella?
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm doing a fucking podcast with Cameron Haynes. I'll call you back.
Yeah.
Dude, call me.
Maybe he wanted to get on the air.
Yeah, probably. He's like, listen, this guy's full of shit. You need a 60-pound bow and that's it. This guy's a maniac. Stop all your lifting. This dude's a goddamn billy goat. We went pig hunting 2 weeks ago, and just following him up the hills. Jesus, he doesn't get tired.
Yeah.
He's has no muscle mass. He's this thin guy.
Yeah.
But he can go for days.
Right.
For days.
Yeah.
He just doesn't get tired.
Well,
I was shocked when we were in Montana because I'm in pretty good shape. But I would follow him up these hills and I'd be like, and he'd be like, nothing, not even breathing heavy.
Yeah.
That's what really got me onto this idea of exercise and hunting being together, and that hunting is a difficult thing. Is that you carrying this?
Yeah.
Look at the horns on that thing. Oh my God, those antlers are giant.
Doing lunges there.
Is that what you're doing?
No.
No, you're just picking it up?
Yeah.
That's a good way to do it though, right?
Yeah.
Now, is there any exercise that you do specifically to deal with the fact that you've got so much weight on your back? Because when you're packing out like that, and
Didn't we talk about The Rock?
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is to compensate for that, not just doing that and carrying the rock, but is there any other do you do like those Roman chair exercises or something to strengthen your lower back? Because it seems like your core and a lot of the areas of your back are really taxed. Your spine carrying a lot of weight on you on a pack like that.
Well, I mean, I'm working core all the time, from planks to all the lifts that I do to shooting a bow can be core. It
is.
I mean, when trying to hold steady. You're engaging your core. So yeah, I do in running the mountain. So whether I have the rock or not, I'm running that mountain. And when you're on an uneven trail and you're juking around and stepping in holes, you're engaging your core. So, and then of course we do, different regular lifts, deadlifts and whatever else. So I don't know. I try to mix it up.
Yeah, I would imagine that there's a lot of crazy muscle groups involved in not just carrying that rock out, but just in shooting that bow. Do you balance out your body because you're pulling so hard on your right side? Do you ever pull your bow just with your left side just
No.
to balance it out?
No, I think the lifting helps that, I mean, because lifting is pretty much you're engaging both sides equally. So the bow just is what it is. I probably am a little unbalanced, but you wouldn't be able to tell. But just from, 27 years of doing it or whatever it's been.
Yeah, my friend Steve Maxwell, who's a pretty famous strength and conditioning expert, he works with a lot of people that have imbalances, like kickers in the NFL,
Right.
and he gets them to kick with the opposite side.
Oh.
And one of the things that they found is that when you use your weaker side, like say if you have a strong side, and they found this with jiu-jitsu as well, it actually enhances your ability on your strong side. So if you, I find that playing pool too. I shoot pool left-handed sometimes. Like if I'm playing my daughter or if I'm playing someone who sucks, I'll shoot pool left-handed. And
Yeah.
then sometimes when left-handed comes up, like there's a shot that I can't reach right-handed, I'll shoot it left-handed.
There you go.
And if I practice left-handed, then my right hand becomes better because I'm concentrating. I have to concentrate so hard to use my left hand because it's all like,
Yeah.
it doesn't know how to move right. It's
Oh,
all
yeah.
goofy.
Yeah.
It's not thinking right. And my right hand just whoosh, it falls right into place.
Yeah.
They say that using your weak side actually enhances your strong side, using your less dominant side.
Yeah. I don't know if I could shoot a bow. I mean,
I know you could. Don't say you couldn't. You could,
Well,
100%.
yeah, no.
I would bet everything I own that you could shoot a bow left hand.
the only difference in between that is, you have your dominant eye,
Yes.
right? So to shoot left-handed, I'd have to use what isn't my dominant eye. I'd have to use my left eye to aim.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be a problem. You know what I started doing recently at the range? I started shooting left-handed because I was shooting so many rounds with my right that I was fucking up my right shoulder.
Oh, really?
The 300 Win Mag.
Oh, yeah.
I was slamming that thing into my shoulder so many times. I was like, let me just fucking shoot a bunch of rounds lefty
That's why rifle hunting is bad.
because the shock, the impact. Just get a muzzle
It's
brake.
too noisy.
It's definitely noisy, but I got these cool earphones that you
Yeah.
listen to. They cancel the sound out except talking.
Oh,
Like
okay.
the sound of gunshots gets muffled radically.
Perfect.
But I could hear you loud and clear if you're talking to me. Like I can hear you louder than I could with my ears. It actually enhances the sound. Yeah, my friend Justin, who's a gun nut, told me about them. They're incredible.
Justin Martindale.
No, this different. He's a different kind of gun nut. Justin Collett. Justin Martindale's a different kind of gun nut.
Yeah.
But he is a gun nut. Science. But I found that like shooting lefty, like practicing left-handed, it made me like so happy that I could go back to right-handed because I
Yeah.
was so much better at it. I think that if you, well, you're so good at shooting bow and arrow anyway, but if you did start shooting left-handed, I bet it would make your right hand better.
Yeah, maybe.
Have you ever thought about getting Hoyt to make you a left-handed bow?
I think they do it.
Let's do it. Call Hoyt up. I just want to thank you and Hoyt for bringing me this awesome bow. Hoyt, which is one of the best bow manufacturers on earth, brought this Hoyt Carbon Spider Turbo for me, and it is amazing. We shot a couple shots. We actually have a little bit of a archery setup back here in the back of the studio, so we shot a couple of targets with it, but this bow is sick.
Yeah, I have one just like it.
It's amazing, man. It's really, really awesome. It feels great.
I brought the Factor. This
Yeah,
is
yours is 90 pounds. Mine, the one you brought me is 70 pounds, which makes me feel like a little girl. I have to ramp it up. Yeah. That thing's incredible. I was amazed at how hard that is to pull back, too. That's really hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it really is like doing a 90-pound row. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of it's technique. You want to push with the left, pull with the right, but yeah, it's got a lot of power. That's I built that or had them build that for me to hunt those water buffalo in Australia, and then I'm going to use it in Africa on Cape buffalo too.
Yeah, Jamie had that video up. Jamie, pull that video up so you could see that water buffalo. It's a long stalk, a long patient stalk on this buffalo. And I would imagine you would want to get a bunch of trees between you and him just in case shit got hairy and you had a duck behind one of those trees.
Yeah, the thing about this, so these animals here is they catch movement. So if they're not looking while you're moving, they can't pick that up. So it's about going slow. And then if he looks, of course, I stop. So it's just about, it's like right here. So I stop because his head's up. And so he can see out of his eye. I'm not moving. Now he puts his head down. And one thing that I figured out on these things is they might put their head down and pretend like they're eating, but really they're looking. So you got to be able to tell. He'll have his head down, but if he's not ripping grass side to side, he's not eating. He's just testing me. So he might have maybe picked something up, but he put his head down, but his mouth wasn't moving. So I just stop. I'm like, okay, you're trying to catch me here. But as long as they don't see you move, you can walk right up right there. And I get to 40. I'm not sure what we're filming here, but we get to 46 yards. And the crazy thing about this is I wanted to let his leg go forward so I can slip that arrow in as his leg's forward, opening up his vitals. And I waited too long, and you can watch this arrow, and it clips a tree in between me and it. And the arrow hit a little lower than what I wanted because it hit that tree. But because I have, 90 pounds and so much force, it ricocheted, caught a little bit of energy from that tree. It was lessened, but it still went in and heart shot on that buffalo.
Yeah, here it is when you're shooting it.
Yeah, so watch that tree, the curved one. So I want his leg to go forward. And
so you barely
barely caught that. But if I would have had less poundage, that could have. So right there, that's a heart shot on him, and he has no idea what happened. So he's taken off, and their vitals. That looks like a bad shot. Like if you were hunting elk, that would be too forward and too low. But on those, that's where the heart is.
So you have to know
basically
the
right
organs.
through. Yeah, it's a little bit different on those animals than what we're here in North America. And so you see, he's going to run into a tree here. He's pretty wobbly. And so I don't know how many seconds this was, but you got a 2,000-pound animal with just a razor sharp stick, and he's down in, a minute, maybe a minute and a half. That's a lot quicker than they're ever going to die in a natural habitat on their own.
Well, no doubt. And that's one thing that people need to understand when you're talking about animals and hunting animals, people that are opposed to it. They need to understand, first of all, that in order to do proper conservation, to take care of these animals, to make sure that their herds, the population is strong, you have to cull some of the animals. You have to, because otherwise they're going to die of starvation. They're going to, get diseased. There's a lot of issues involved if you're not introducing predators. And then if you introduce predators to take care of the population, well, then you got a whole nother problem, obviously. And they're actually seeing that right now in parts of this country with wolves. When they reintroduce wolves, I mean, they're really ramping up wolf hunting now in Idaho.
Oh, yeah. No, because the wolves are just tearing up elk.
Yeah.
And it's
decimating populations.
Yeah. And, like in Australia, there's no predators. So those buffalo, there's too many of them. Right now, there's no limit on buffalo. You don't need a tag. You don't need a license. They just want them killed because they're not native. Those are Asian water buffalo, so they were brought over to Australia. They're not native, and so there's so many of them where there once was water and there's fish and all sorts of things. Now it's just basically a mud hole because those buffalo get in there and, they piss in there. They do live in there, killed everything. So they tear up the habitat. They tear up they ruin the water source, and so now they just want them killed. So when I was over there, I killed 3 of those big old things, and you could kill 20 of them if you want. They need them gone.
Wow, well, that's the same thing with New Zealand as well, right? New Zealand has an issue with non-native species.
Yeah. That's there's only there's tons of non-native species in Australia. I think. Let's see, the guy I was with, Adam Greentree, he killed. It's not a dingo, but it's sort of like a dingo, but it's not a purebred because those are protected. But
see that kangaroo? Look how yoked he is.
Yeah,
the kangaroo is following the Cameron Haynes program.
Yeah.
Look at him. I would not want to tangle with that kangaroo, man.
You don't need to be that jacked to be a kangaroo. See, he's wasting his time.
He's getting crazy.
No, but yeah. So it was good getting over there and seeing different animals and learning from Adam Greentree and Owen Strunell were over there, and they've awesome bow hunters, and getting to new countries is just what I love to do.
Yeah, and the non-native species thing is a fascinating thing to me because that's what we're dealing with in North America with the wild hogs that have been introduced. They were introduced with the Europeans, and they've run rampant all throughout. I mean, California. We were in Tejon Ranch, where I went hunting with Ranella, and they have 50,000 hogs on this one ranch. I mean, they're fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane. You
Yeah.
see these herds of them.
Oh, and they're rooting around, tearing up the ground.
Yeah, and they breed all year round.
Yeah.
They're just constantly making babies, and so there's certain ranches in California, in Southern California. They're begging people to come on their ranch and kill hogs. In Texas, famously, they're shooting them out of helicopters.
Yeah.
I mean, they actually have companies that take people on helicopter hog hunts, and that's what they're all about. They just fly around, they find the hogs, and they're shooting them out of the sky. And part of it is novelty, in that you get to hunt from a helicopter, but part of it is necessity. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you can't get to these damn things.
You need to reduce the number somehow.
Yeah, the non-native species thing is very fascinating to me, and just the understanding of population control is one of the things that I've really become fascinated by getting into hunting, understanding what the fish and wildlife, what they have to go through in order to figure out how many tags to give out,
Right.
what the numbers are that they need to where they need to let animals recuperate, where they need to go in and take some of them and reduce them. It's a fascinating thing, and one of the most efficient programs in our country as far as, you want to talk about, government programs. Well, Fish and Wildlife is a government program, but damn, it's effective.
Yeah.
Effective and efficient because it's run by actual hunters and fishermen and outdoorsmen.
Yeah, no, and the thing about, hunting, people still, if you're not a hunter, it's hard to understand, or some people still don't understand why in this day and age you need to hunt. Well, I work with the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. They're the #1 conservation group out there, and they've helped protect habitat. I think over 6 million acres now of habitat for elk. So that's from hunters' dollars. It's conservation groups. So hunters, the money we pay for tag and license and everything else to use to be in out there hunting with the weapon, that's what goes into helping these animals. Elk numbers now have never been higher. We're hunting them, but we're also paying and contributing to the health and habitat and for elk and other wildlife. And that's what people don't understand. Without putting a value on those animals, then that's where, I don't know, that's where everything goes sideways. But because we value them, we're willing to pay money and help. And we got outfits like the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation that just do amazing work for us.
Yeah, I know where their mindset. I understand where they're coming from. The people that are anti-hunting, they're coming from kindness. I mean, they don't want you to kill these cute animals. They don't want you. They feel like it's a cruelty thing, or that it's an evil thing to go out to nature and find these beautiful things and shoot them and kill them. I understand the mindset.
Yeah,
but it, like many things in life, is not nearly as cut and dry as everybody wants to paint it, as everybody wants to depict it. It's a far more complex and complicated issue, and they have a hard time believing that someone could have a deep love for animals while still hunting them.
Right. No, I don't think anybody could respect a bull elk more than I do. Maybe the same, but I think about elk hunting every single day. And those bulls are, man, I dreamed about killing a 6x6 bull elk, first of all, I didn't know if I had what it took. I was like, am I good enough, or am I tough enough, or can I even do this? I mean, maybe I can't, maybe I'm not even capable of it, because I could kill some animals. I could kill a spike bull. I killed some smaller bulls, but a 6x6 bull, mature herd bull, is what every hunter dreams of.
And for folks who don't know what you're saying, 6x6 means six on their
each
antlers,
side.
6 points on each side.
Yeah.
This is an enormous animal.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, for folks who don't understand, you're talking about antlers that are bigger than my arms.
Yeah.
Longer and thicker even than my arms.
Okay, so I killed a 6x6 bull this year in Colorado, or in 2013, and it was about 10 years old. So to do that, he's been through 10 hunting seasons. He's, endured 10 winters. Tough animal. And so for a long time, I didn't know if I had what it took. And when I finally did do it is when Princess Di died, like I said. And so that was when I called. It was just like all I could think about is I finally proved to myself I could do it. And that's powerful.
That was the first time that you'd ever done it. There's one right there.
Yeah, that's more than a 6x6. That's a
monster.
Looks like he's got an extra tine in there. But
pull up a video of elks bugling. I know we played one of those before, just so people can hear it. Because
there's one on my YouTube from Colorado this year, and the bull's coming up the hill bugling, and it's so loud.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's amazing.
What is that? What's the name of the video?
Should be something Colorado, Cam in Colorado or something like that.
Well, Jamie will find it, but that animal itself, the elk, is almost like a mystical animal to me. Because if you've heard one, I've heard one call before, and we were in Mount Rainier. We actually weren't even hunting; we were looking for Bigfoot. I was there with my friend Duncan.
You didn't find it,
dude? We found them. I just like to keep secrets. I'm not like Tom Sizemore. I'm not all blabby. No, we. It was for this sci-fi show that I did called Joe Rogan Questions Everything. And can you hear it?
Yeah, if you go to like 8 or 9.
8 or 9 minutes?
Yeah. Let's see. Can we hear the?
Oh yeah.
Oh no, this is where I took a selfie of a bull coming in. No, it's past that. Maybe right in there. Yeah. Turn. Can we? Oh, there we go. Listen to this.
How far away is that right now?
He's about 70. That's him.
That's so weird.
Yeah, listen to this.
And that's a carbon spider turbo. That's an 80-pound.
That's not a carbon. That's a spider turbo.
That's before.
That was last
model before.
That is amazing, dude. That will just put the hair on the back of your neck.
Wow. And so you have this scope in your hand. That's a spotting scope that shows you the distance. Is it distance?
Rangefinder.
Rangefinder. Wow.
Yeah. So he's about 18 yards right here, but he's going to get the wind. So I have to try to stop. So I do that with my mouth. I'm trying to stop him before he smells me. So he spooks right here, and he goes to about 25 right here. My son Tanner's filming.
Oh.
Right there. So there's a perfect shot, and you'll see. Here's how you see how lethal a bow is.
He's bleeding on the other side.
Yeah, arrow went clear through.
Wow. He probably doesn't even know what the fuck just happened.
No, he's looking for a bull. He hears that other bull is bugling. He just got in a fight with a bull. Now he's like, he doesn't feel so good.
Wow.
So that's it. That's
an animal 7 times bigger than you.
Yeah, and that was just with a sharp stick, basically. And that's what you dream of as a bow. Every bow hunter dreams of that.
And how many of those have you ever killed?
Oh, I don't know, probably 30.
Wow, dude, you must have the most ridiculous freezer at home.
Yeah, no, the freezer's full, definitely.
What kind of a freezer do you have? Do you have like one of them walk-in freezers?
I have just two freezers.
2 big giant freezers?
Yeah, in the garage. Yeah, and it's full of bear and elk and everything else.
You probably never have to go to the supermarket for meat, right?
No, we still like a good beef steak every once in a while. You know, I buy my beef from Adam LaRoche. He has a ranch in Kansas, and it's just, you know, the beef is raised, no steroids it's just free range, and that's where I buy my meat from. He's another hunter. It's on a show Buck Commanders. He plays for the Washington Nationals.
And is it all grass fed?
Yeah. I mean, and it's as good as it gets.
The farm that we hunted on in Wisconsin this year is my friend Doug Duran, and he actually has cows on his farm as well and raises them grass-fed, gave us some of the beef. It was delicious.
Amazing.
People don't realize, man, when you're feeding cows these diets that are unnatural to them, giving them corn, they all fat and shit. Like, I was at a restaurant the other day, and they tried to give me some of that Wagyu beef. They're like, it's our finest beef. I'm like, get that sloppy, fat, stupid animal away from me. That drunken animal.
Yeah. No,
that's what it is. They get them drunk off beer. They're feeding them beer and fattening them up. When you're not supposed to have all that fat, like in that marbling.
No.
You get a nice grass-fed steak, and
Yeah.
it's you know,
It's lean.
It's very lean. And it's darker. It's a deeper red. It's
Yeah.
more like a game animal.
Yeah, it's not as lean as elk, and
No.
and but like you said, eating. Is that Steve calling again?
No. Someone texting. I should shut this fucking thing off. Silly Steve.
Yeah.
How dare he?
But I've been in Colorado in that high country there, and that's about 11,000 feet. That's up in the mountains. And I killed a bull, I don't know, I think it was 3 years ago. And we cut out the backstrap, built a fire, and cooked it. I actually put it on one of my arrows, because my arrows are aluminum, and cooked the backstrap, skewered on an arrow over a fire. And I don't care where I've eaten or the food I've eaten, it would never be better than that right there in the mountains, killing or eating an animal I just killed. It was amazing.
Yeah, we did that in Montana. We had liver, and we ate liver and heart that we had killed 2 hours ago, and we cooked it up at the campfire. We were all just like, "Oh, this is incredible! It's so good."
Yeah,
and the
there it is right
taste,
there.
it's so vibrant too. Like the taste of elk. Elk is an extremely delicious animal. It's got a really unique flavor to it.
Yeah.
Almost sweet, right?
Well, and it's just, so I was cutting that back strap on a rock, dirty hands, just a knife that I'd gutted it with. It's just like, so whatever. I don't even know how you'd describe it, but it's just, I don't know, it just feels like that's how it's meant to be. That's almost how it feels like I'm meant to live. It's just out there living in the mountains, and I don't know, just powerful.
Even not killing an animal, there's something to me about the mountains that's insanely appealing. I love being in the mountains. It gives you this weird. It sounds like very hippie, but I believe that when you are in these areas, like when you are in a mountain and there's all these trees and there's a river or stream or whatever, I feel like there's energy coming out of those trees, and there's energy in that hill. And then these life forms, these plants that grow there in the wild, and they're these vibrant things that have existed without any human assistance whatsoever, and will be here probably long after we're gone. There's something to them where when you're in that environment, you feel it. You might not even know you feel it, but sort of like you don't know when you're breathing smoggy air. You're just breathing smoggy air.
Yeah.
And then you get to a mountain, you get that mountain air, and you're like, wow, this is different. And then you're around those plants. I feel like, it's not like they're communicating with you, but I feel like they give off a vibe.
Yeah. That wasn't after you smoked a bunch of pot, was it?
I ate a bunch of pot. No, it's even stone cold sober, man. But
Yeah,
the
I
pot
know.
would definitely enhance.
No, I believe that too. I've been, there's this place I used to go and camp by myself in the Eagle Cap, and it was just like on this rock shelf looking over this huge canyon. And so I was sleeping there one night, and stars are out, and just before dark I'd glassed about 300 yards away a bunch of bighorn rams. And sheep are just like the holy grail of hunting, right? And so I was watching these sheep, and it's just so, I don't know, it's so amazing, that moment. So I went to bed, my bivy sack there, and I woke up in the morning, the sheep were still there, except there was one less. And I'm like, I wonder where the heck that other ram went. Well, I went over there and found a lion had killed a ram the night before. And so I found his leg. I'm like, oh, okay, well, here's one reason why he wasn't with them. But it's just like those rams are there feeding. One got killed by a lion. They're still there feeding. Nothing had changed. The wind was still blowing. They were still feeding, but one was gone. And it just, to me, is just like, man, I could die back here. Nothing changes. You really figure out how you fit in. Nothing cares back there. It's just like, that's just the way it goes. There's life and death, and nothing in the wilderness changes. And that just, to me, that was powerful. You really feel how you fit in. And it's
humility.
You don't have much of an impact, really.
You know who needs to feel that?
Who's that?
Kanye West. You need to take that motherfucker bow hunting.
There you go.
Take him bow hunting, and while he's in his little tent, and he hears,
Yeah.
Here's some mountain goat get taken out.
Well, I think a lot of people could benefit, including Kanye.
Almost everybody could benefit.
But
have you ever had any encounters with mountain lions?
let's see. I've had a shot at one. I've never killed one. I've never been with dogs, hunting lions. So it's just kind of been on a happen chance. But I was still in that same country, and I was walking on the top of this cliff, and I was looking down at the Rocky Mountain, the goats. I don't know, have you ever seen a goat? It's a white with the little black horns. Well, they live up in notoriously steep country. So I'm up on top of this cliff looking down at the goats, and I was just by myself sneaking along. And I look up further down the cliff, and there's a lion standing there watching the same goats. So I wasn't hunting. I didn't have a tag for the goats, so I was just kind of watching them. They only give one tag for that area. It's really, really tough to get, but still, they're just awesome animals. And so I look down, and there's a lion watching the same goats, and you could see if those goats get too high, they get killed by the lion. So they kind of stay a little lower. It doesn't. They figure it out, but that lion's just waiting for one to make a mistake. Well, I was just seconds from being able to get a shot because I had a lion tag, mountain lion, and you guys can't hunt them here, but we can hunt them in Oregon, but not with dogs. But I was seconds from getting a shot, and right before he looked at me and took off. So I've seen that lion. I saw a lion chasing a cow elk back there. They're nocturnal. You just don't see many lions out in daylight unless they're hunting like that. But I've seen them.
Do you hear them like when you're camping?
Yeah, they make. Yeah, I may not have known what it was, but they do make a noise unlike any you've ever heard. And that's lions. And it can just.
What does it sound like?
I don't know. It'd be hard to describe, but
give it a shot.
No, I can't. I can't.
Can't do a lion impression.
No, I can't do it.
Is it? No?
No, not like that. No.
Deeper.
Yeah, it's no, that's more like a bear. But yeah, I don't know. But
But something creepy.
Yeah, something. You're right, exactly. Something that you were like, that's weird.
Have you ever seen the photo of the lion and the ram dead on the road where they had fallen off the cliff?
Yeah.
Where the lion and the ram were duking it out.
Yeah.
And apparently they both went over the edge.
Yeah.
That to me is one of the most powerful photographs of the struggle of nature, the tooth, fang, and claw of the wilderness.
Yeah. And that happens all the time.
Sure.
You just don't have pictures of it.
Yeah.
Because it's not on a road.
Right.
But yeah, they deal with that all the time.
Both of them deal with that all the time. Yeah, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
Nothing
Nothing
changes. Find
changes.
that picture, Jamie. That's a crazy picture. Yeah, this is the picture.
Yeah.
The series of them, the two of them lying down on the road. I mean, that is such a powerful photograph.
Yeah.
It just makes you realize what an insane struggle it is to try to be surviving as an animal in the wilderness.
Yeah. And see, look, that's all snow piled up there. It's cold. They're out there 365 days a year trying to survive. So that's why I think about what they go through when I'm working out, and it's just like they're so much tougher. I mean, we're so weak as a society. We're used to laying on the couch watching TV, having everything. Well, a bull elk is laying out there in the rain and the snow and the whatever, getting so tough. And so I always think about there's this gap between me and a bull. I need to close that gap because it's just getting wider and wider every day for most. So if you can close that, if I can get tougher and tougher and tougher, I'm going to be more on an equal playing field and be more of a predator like a lion, you know what I mean, or a wolf.
How did you decide to specialize in elk? Is it just the biggest animal near you in Oregon? Yeah,
it's just like, it was probably the most respected and regal animal that I could afford to hunt. When I first started hunting, we bought a deer tag. It was like $11.50. I couldn't even afford an elk tag because they were $25. It was like $25. There's no way I'm ever going to hunt elk. And so that's just the way it was. Didn't have any money. And then once I could afford elk, it was that year that I killed that one with the bow. And so I'm in at like $30. I'm like, I need to get my money's worth out of this thing. Between I think it went up a little bit, so it was $27.50 or something like that. But yeah, that was it. It was just the biggest, most respected animal, a bull elk, is just like, man, I could never dream of hunting sheep at that time, or buffalo or whatever. So it was elk.
And elk, I mean, if you got 500 pounds of meat off an animal, what is that worth money wise? I mean, what a bargain. For a $25 tag, get 500 pounds. Well, obviously you have to pay for your equipment and your time and your food and everything to get out there.
It doesn't pencil out.
Doesn't pencil out, no.
Once you figure out the time, and you look at these bows right here, these are, shoot, by the time you get this bow set up here with arrows and everything else, it's like $2,000. So you don't want to pencil it out. That it's not about the value of it. You know what I mean? So it's just more about just the experience.
And why did you decide to go to Australia to shoot these water buffaloes? Just for the experience of it?
Yeah, just I wanted it. It's like when I'm not hunting, I don't know, just being in my office working at my regular work, I feel like I'm dying, basically.
Do you really?
Yeah, I just feel like, what?
Your boss is listening right now. You know that, right?
It's
like, what the fuck, Cam? I thought you like it here.
No, I do like it.
We like you in the office. You're dying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like it there.
Damage control.
Sorry, boss.
Hey, listen, man, I felt like I was dying when I was doing Fear Factor. I know what you're talking about.
No, but I just feel like that's not what
you want to do.
Meant to do.
Yeah.
It's just, I need to be outside. I need to be, challenged. And so I'm like, well, God, what can I do? And so came out, it was in December, just, recently. And I'm like, I want to go do something I've never done. So Hoyt hooked me up with Adam down there in Australia. And I wanted to do, actually, when I first decided to go there, it was just going to be to give away a bow. What I do with the bows after I get done shooting them for the year is I hold these contests. And it's like win Cam's bow. And I just say, if you want to win my bow from last year, show up at this time and beat me at any challenge, or beat me in the challenges I put out there, and you can have my bow. And so I was just going to do a win a bow in Australia, because I have so many people that order my shirts and hats and everything else from down there. I'm like, I need to get down there and see these people. I just felt so much support down there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I asked Hoyt, I said, I want to do a win a bow down there. Can you help me set it up, with the pro shops or the archery shops down there? So it just kind of turned into a hunt at the same time. I'm like, yeah, I'll do a hunt also. So that was what I did, the hunt. Then I did the win Cam's bow contest, and it just tied it all together.
And what was the contest? What did they have to do to win your bow?
They had to beat me at running. So we ran, then we did push-ups, then we did pull-ups, and then we did a 100-yard shot. So if you beat me at those, you get my bow.
All three? They have to beat you at all of them?
Four.
All four of them?
Yeah. And then if nobody...
So what if they only beat you 3 of them?
No,
pound sand next.
No, then I get to choose who I give it to. So I give it away either way.
Right.
I mean, I'm not like, you guys suck, I'm taking my bow home. No, so the thing is, I'm going to give it away to somebody. If somebody beats me at all that, it's no questions, it's your bow. And if nobody does, I choose out of the contestants. And so I ended up giving it to this 13-year-old girl there. And I just liked her heart. It was 100 degrees and like 100% humidity. It was just brutal. And we ran 12 laps around this, I think it was a cricket field, but it's about, a 5K, like 3.1 miles. And so we were running, and nobody beat me at that, but she was just out there grinding and sweating and hot and just showing a lot of heart. Then she did the pull-ups, and of course didn't win the pull-ups, and she did push-ups. And then at the 100-yard shot, she made an awesome shot. I mean, she wasn't the closest, but made a good shot at 100 yards at this 3D bull elk. And, there's other people who beat her there, but I didn't think anybody showed as much heart as she did. So I gave her the bow, and, it was an 80-pound bow. So obviously, I don't know if I told her, I said, you don't need to keep it. You can sell it and buy clothes. You can do whatever you want with it. The point is your effort to me won this bow today.
That's cool, man.
And it's up to you.
That's really cool. Now, when you went out there hunting the water buffalo, you camped out there. You camped out there in the bush?
Yeah, there's actually, we stayed in this village from the Aborigines. We thought they were going to be there, but there's actually nobody there. And we had to hunt it's called traditional land, native land. You have to get permission from the Aborigines to hunt it. And what I was told is probably only 50 white men had ever been there, just because it's wild country. It's just where they live. But nobody's in the village, and we don't know why it was abandoned or whatever. I guess if an elder dies, they will leave. They think there's bad spirits in the village. So they just leave everything and take off. So we don't know for sure why it was empty, but we were just there by ourselves. And we just basically slept on the porch of this hut out there. And we didn't, Adam, who I went out there with, he was like, when we took a helicopter out there, it was the only way to get there. It was a 4-hour helicopter ride. And I said, do we want to get any food? He goes, I think it would be better if we just lived off the land. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I didn't know what was out there for sure. Turns out there's not much. And so that was not the best idea, to try to live off the land. Luckily, another guy, Owen, went, and he did bring some food, but still we didn't hardly have any food. I mean, I had a granola bar, and I had some trail mix from the airport, and Adam had a granola bar, and then Owen, he brought some apples and oranges and stuff like that, but all that stuff was gone fast, and we were out there 5 full days. It was 120 degrees Fahrenheit out there, and the water was like, it looked like this coffee. I mean, because the buffalo lived in it,
and they just piss and shit.
Oh yeah, just nonstop. So, we would have to treat that water.
Oh, you drank that water?
There's nothing else.
Oh yeah. My goodness.
No, so it was a process.
What does buffalo piss taste like exactly?
It's surprisingly, it's not that good.
Now, do you put it through filters? Do you boil it? Like,
here's what we did. First, we poured it through our shirt.
Okay.
To try to get the big chunks out.
Right.
Like Owen brought back some water one time, and he's like, "What does this smell like?" And I was just like, "Oh my god, it smells like buffalo piss."
And you knew you were gonna have to drink.
Yeah.
That.
So we poured it through the shirt. Then we did it through a pump. Adam had a pump, and then he had a Steripin.
What kind of pump? What do you mean a pump?
A water. It's for filtering water.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what kind it was.
But it filters through like a pump system?
Yeah, you
like a carbon.
Right, yeah. It's a filter that supposedly cleans the water. So, and then we had a Steripin, which is a UV light that also cleans the water. And so we had the shirt, the filter, the Steripin, and then he's like, okay, so we got all that. Now what does it smell like? And it's in like a cup like this. And I was like, oh my, it still smells, it smelled no different. So we drank that.
Oh my God, like that?
Just like that.
Like it was. No boiling it, nothing? Mm-mm. Oh my God, she drank straight buffalo piss.
Yeah.
And shit too, right?
Yeah.
What about the bacteria and, that stuff that you get like when you drink stream water? What's that called? It's real common.
Oh, Giardia?
Yeah, Giardia. What about that?
Well, that's what that stuff was supposed to kill or take out.
Wow.
Yeah, so Adam, he was like took a drink of it, and he was kind of went into convulsions a little bit. He's like, my body's rejecting it, and it was just nasty.
Oh.
But and then there was another time. So we found this. We found some hamburger patties that were from the natives there. They had the freezer. Actually, the government or whoever it is comes in there, and they put power and water, their solar power, because it's so it's hot and sunny down there. So. There was a freezer, and it had some hamburger patties. So we stole those, and we're cooking those up. So we're down to like one last patty, and I took it because I had no food, and I had it in my trail mix bag because I had no more trail mix. So I had it in there, and I had one cooked hamburger patty. And I remember we were sitting there, and we just drank a big old vat of buffalo piss water. And I'm like, man, what would go good with this is that hamburger patty. So I unzip my backpack, and I pull out my trail mix with the hamburger bag with the hamburger patty in it, and it's just solid ants. I mean, ants are all filled up, and it's just not like regular little cool black ants like we have here. It's just red, mean, whatever ants, and just all over in my backpack, all over that patty. But so all I did, I just scraped them off, blew them off the hamburger patty, and ate it.
Why didn't you just eat the ants too?
I should have.
Yeah,
if they would
totally gangster. I mean, you're drinking buffalo piss, might as well eat some ants.
But here's the thing: is experiences like that's where you appreciate I don't know how good we have it, because you realize all that matters is you have something to drink and something to eat. That's it.
Yeah, you have to keep your body alive, and there's no other way to do
No.
it.
And so you get home and you see people complain about, oh, there's no ice for this water. I got to drink this warm water. I'm like, that water looks pretty damn good. I mean, I've drank some nasty water and I'd take that, you know. So it just puts everything in perspective, you know.
And you have to make sure that you're not getting dehydrated too. So you have to drink a lot of that piss water.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Oh, what kind of rocket diarrhea did you guys develop? I need to know, because it must have been like some broken fire hydrant type diarrhea. No? You didn't?
No. I must not have, I mean, we must have got it pretty clean.
You must have a strong constitution.
I guess so.
Now, the buffalo itself, you said that you guys ate that buffalo.
Yeah, we'd had nothing else to eat.
And you were telling me about this before the podcast started, but for the folks at home, what was that like?
Yeah, it was, so the backstrap is typically the best cut of any game animal. It's right along the spine, and there's no bones, and it's just big, solid meat. And it's usually just like on an elk, that's like as good as it gets.
Tenderloin.
Yeah. And so we cut that off and we cooked that up in these buffalo. So cut that up and cooked it up. So I'd take a bite and I'd shoot my bow just middle of the day. And I was shooting for probably maybe a half hour, came back, still chewing the same bite. And so the thing about these buffalo, because there's no predators, and we were trying to kill the biggest bulls out there, the bull could be 30 years old. Any animal that old in those conditions, the muscles are going to be, so it's muscle you're eating, the muscles are going to be, you know, whatever, just not very pliable. And
dense.
So, yeah, dense. And so I chewed that one bite of the premium cut for half hours, like, you know, eating a shoe. So that was it.
What about the organs? Did you eat the liver?
No.
How come?
No, I never, yeah.
You don't like liver?
No.
You don't like liver like from a deer?
No.
Really?
No.
Why?
I don't know.
Man, that's my favorite part.
That just filters all the crap.
It's so good for you, though.
No.
It does a good job of filtering the crap.
I'm not a liver guy.
That's interesting. You know, the alpha wolf is the one that gets the liver when they take out an animal.
Oh,
you might
really?
want to reconsider.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the alpha wolf, they battle over who gets the liver, and that's how they determine the alpha status of the pack, is that the wolf, who's the baddest motherfucker, is the one that eats the liver. There was a documentary on this guy who lived with wolves. There was there was a contained area. I forget where it was, I forget what part of the world, but this one guy lived with these wolves in this contained area, and he was the alpha. And the way that he became the alpha is he was with these wolves since they were little, and he would always eat liver in front of them. So he would have an animal that they would give to these wolves, and he would put a liver inside of this animal, and he would like open up this Ziploc bag and pull this liver out and eat it in front of them. So they knew that because he was eating the liver, he was the alpha.
Yeah.
Well, he went away because he had to deal with there was a local farmer that had a wolf invasion. The wolf were killing his livestock. So this guy had to assist this farmer, and one of the ways he assisted him, he set up all these speakers where he had howls, like he set up like as if there was like a new pack that had encroached into this area, and he set up this whole elaborate thing to try to ward off these wolves without having to kill them. And then, you know, some time went by, several weeks, and he went back to the wolves, and a new alpha was there.
Yeah.
So he had to beg for his life in front of this new alpha. He had to whimper, and he had to like,
oh, really?
Yeah, it was really intense because it was baring its teeth. It was challenging him for the alpha position.
Yeah.
And so he had to get out of it by being a bitch, because normally wolves will duke it out and find out, well, oh, you're the alpha now. Well, let's see what's up, bitch. And, you know, they would duke it out to see who. This wolf was determined to eat that liver. So he had to he had to fight for his position in the pack by begging for his life.
I do like how simple life is in the mountains. You know what I mean? I mean, there's one leader. When I was young, I liked being back there because I didn't have to worry about, you know, whether somebody liked me or whether I had money or whether any help from anybody. It was just like so simple and so cut and dry, just like that. There's one alpha wolf. And I mean, either are you tougher or is he tougher? You know what I mean? And I just like how black and white the mountains are. You know, if you're not tough, you die.
Yeah. That's great if you're tough.
That's true. Yeah.
If you're not tough, you want to get back home to the internet. Like, fuck this place, man. I need air conditioning. I need a blanket.
I did a commercial with the wolf for Under Armour. I don't know, we filmed it last year. But I thought the best ending to that commercial would have been if I could have killed that wolf, because it's just like how it went is me and the wolf were running through the woods. We're both doing the same things, and then the commercial ended with me. I had a bull elk I had killed, but we just took the rack up there. But I had it on my pack, and the wolf came up and he saw me with that bull elk, and it's like I won because we were both hunting the elk. But I got it. And so the wolf jumped up on this log and he snarled and was not happy. And I said, man, the best ending to this would be if I just arrowed that wolf too. And then, because you got to kind of infer that I won, but
right,
man, that would tell the story right there.
Well, that would really like send it home for Under Armour though. People would boycott. They would start. Yeah. He's killing wolves. Is this the commercial? Play it.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's hear the volume.
With preparation and the right gear, you can become nature's equal.
That's even better. You're like, bitch, I already won.
Yeah.
That doesn't look like a real wolf, though.
That's a
Go
real
where you
wolf.
don't belong.
It looks like one of those bitch-ass trained wolves.
Yeah. Oh, that was a trained wolf, but it was an actual real trained wolf.
A real wolf, not like a hybrid wolf.
No. That was, and that wolf actually. So that wolf had been in like the Twilight movies. I mean, it's sort of a famous wolf. But the thing about it is, to make it snarl like that, I took some elk steak up there, and I was going to give it some elk after it did this whole thing. But to make it mad like that, you had to give it meat and take it away. Give it meat, take it away.
Whoa.
And they said, okay, yeah, the trainer said, okay, we can make it mad and snarl like you need for the commercial. But once we do that, we're done, because it's going to be pissed off for the whole rest of the day. So that was the last thing. So that wolf had been, I think they had it since it was 5 weeks old and it was 11 years old, but it's still crazy.
Yeah, it's a real wolf.
Yeah, I mean, they have that in them. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I had a friend who had hybrids. They weren't even full wolves. They were like, 7/8 wolf or something like that. But he had them, and they got away from him. They were in his yard, and they went over to the neighbor's property and killed something like 18 sheep or something like that. Just went on just an orgy of murder.
Yeah.
And just slaughtered this guy's sheep.
Yeah.
And then the rancher comes over, pissed at him, and he tried to deny it, gives his wolves a bath, and I'm like, come on, man. What the fuck else is going to kill 18 of them? A mountain lion is going to kill one and eat it.
No.
It's a well-fed wolf dog that's going to go on this mad orgy of murder.
Yeah, I've read a lot. I've always been a fan of wolves, which is kind of cool to do that commercial with the wolf. But I read Call of the Wild when I was a kid, and White Fang, all that. But I've read a lot about wolves, and they're one of the only animals that'll do thrill killing. Just kill a bunch of things just to kill them.
Yeah.
Whereas other animals usually kill just what they eat.
Yeah, they had a problem with that recently at this ranch in Montana, where this pack of wolves just got a hold of these calves and just slaughtered a bunch of calves, a ton of them, 12 calves, and just left them. I mean, ate part of them, but left a lot of them just sitting there dead, frozen. And it was a really creepy scene. It was on a television show that I was watching, and when they're these calves that are mostly covered in snow, you see their bodies, and you really see the havoc that these things. They're too close to people. These fucking wolves,
Yeah,
they're creepy in a weird way. They're smart. They're sneaky. They're strategic in how they kill things.
Yeah,
and then they do this thrill killing thing.
Yeah, no, and you can't blame a wolf. That's just how they are. But we don't need a bunch of them running around the mountains. I mean,
yeah, but people have a weird relationship with them because they look so much like dogs.
Yeah,
it's a strange sort of a relationship that people who love wildlife have, that they would be cured of really fucking quickly if they were out there in the woods and they saw a pack of wolves.
Yeah,
because they would realize, oh, these are monsters.
Yeah.
These are the things that they made Little Red Riding Hood about. This is the big bad wolf.
Yeah.
There's a reason why all of those children's stories involved evil wolves, because wolves eat kids.
Yeah.
on a regular basis back then.
Well, it's people. They're just not realistic about it. I mean, a wolf. They're just looking for something to kill.
Yeah, whether it's your baby,
you,
you,
a deer,
yeah,
and people, just like that Timothy Treadwell up in Alaska when he was living with the bears, and he thought, oh, bears are my friends. This.
Hello,
no.
Mr. Chocolate.
Yeah.
How are you?
They ate him and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And it's just like they're not your friends.
Not even slightly.
No.
They the only reason why they aren't eating you is because they don't eat you every day, so they're not used to seeing you as food. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
And with wolves, they're like, this motherfucker might have a bang stick. They'll like circle you, looking, what's that thing in his hand?
Yeah.
That might go bang.
Yeah.
If they've heard the bang stick a few times, then they go running.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of wolves. I am a big fan of wolves, and I'm not a big fan of wolves. Like I'm a big fan as far as them. Like just like I'm a big fan of lions. I think even mountain lions. I think they're fascinating. Just wild animals, wild predators are absolutely they're enchanting in a way. Just this idea that this thing exists along with us, with our lattes and our electric cars and our Wi-Fi, along at the same time. At this very same moment we're doing this podcast. There's some gangster-ass mountain lion in Arizona right now getting shit done on a mountain.
Yeah.
Sneaking up on some ram or whatever the fuck he can get his teeth onto. And that's what he does every day. And there's thousands of them.
Yeah.
It's not just one. There's a whole community of mountain lions, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
Whether it's the wolves in Idaho that are destroying the elk or the mountain. They're really, really fascinating. But people who are anti-hunting need to understand that just because a lot of people don't like to eat mountain lion or because nobody eats wolves, you still need to kill those things. And it's important because if it doesn't happen, they're going to creep into civilian areas the same way they used to back in the day when they were writing those Little Red Riding Hood books.
Yeah.
I've told this story in the podcast before, but I'll tell it again. In Paris in the 1400s, wolves killed 40 people in Paris. Like they had to corner wolves in the streets of Paris and kill them with spears and sticks and rocks.
Yeah.
Like they're not to be fucked with. This is not. They're not your dogs.
No.
It's not a beautiful animal that has a relationship with. I mean, even the way we treat like killer whales. Killer whales don't kill people in the wild. They actually help people that fall out of boats. The killer whales might be your friends. We should probably be way nicer to killer whales than we are to wolves.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, there's something about hunting a predator. I mean, I've done a lot of bear hunts, and I was up in Alberta this year, and a lot of people bear hunt, and they'll like sit up in a tree stand, this and that. And I said, I want to hunt a predator, and they're 7-foot black bear. They're huge, but I want to be on the ground. I was up there with John Rivet in Alberta. I said, I want to be on the ground, living amongst them. And there's something about, and so we did that.
This is your here. What are you cooking here?
Oh, call that bear crack. Yeah, so you bait them up there, and there's so many bear up there. You can kill 2 bears. There's just like tons of bear. You need to manage that number. But so that bear, we call it bear crack because once they get hooked on the crack, they're coming in.
And what is bear crack? What's in it? What are you mixing in there?
Marshmallows and Jello and stuff like that. Just something that smells good. But those bears get.
You cook it?
Yeah, just kind of get it wafting in the air, and then the smoke goes off through there. But I wanted like that bear was probably, God, what was that? Like maybe 12 feet.
Yeah,
away.
pull that video up again, Jamie. Look how close this fucking bear is. That's a big bear too, man.
Yeah, that's a good bear.
And we should point out probably that black bear are much less likely to attack a person than a grizzly.
Yeah, but the thing is with the wild animal, they'll do whatever they want.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can
They
say.
don't follow the books.
No, I mean, you might get attacked and you go, hey, you're less likely to do that. It doesn't matter. So you never know. A bear comes and any animal will make a decision right then on what they want to do. If it's a predator, if it's a dominant predator, dominant bear are more likely just to come walking right in like that and just say, you better leave because I'm coming in. And those are the ones, those are the ones I go after. I want the dominant animal. And that one wasn't like one of the giant, that was a big bear, but not one of the giant bear. But there's something about being on the ground eye to eye with a predator like that that's, that's just what I like to do.
So you passed on that bear because it was too
Yeah.
small?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a big bear.
Yeah, that was. But it wasn't 7 foot, 400 pounds like
What-
the ones that I got.
Well, how big was that one, you think?
That was like probably 6 foot, maybe, 250 or 275.
Wow. Now, why do you want the dominant ones?
They're the older, sometimes those old boars don't breed as much as they used to. A lot of the old boars, especially a dominant boar will kill other bear. So even if it's an own cub, I mean, it breeds a lot of sows, when they're in their prime. So the sows have cubs. A dominant boar will kill the cubs because he's trying to eliminate competition for him. Mm-hmm. So he'll kill his own cubs. That's just how it works.
And they eat them too, right?
Yeah, they eat them. I mean, I had this. We were on Prince of Wales Island. That's where this video is right here. Prince of Wales Island one time. Or no, this is Alaska. This isn't Prince of Wales. But this guy hit this bear, and we came right at dark. We came back the next day to recover it, and the dominant boar had eaten his bear. Whoa. They are just, I don't know. It's just survival of the fittest, basically. So we take those dominant boars out of there, and it pretty much helps the health of the herd, basically, or not the herd, but the numbers. Bears aren't herd, but whatever how many bears are there, it'll help, taking that big nasty dominant one out of there. And then that's, I don't know. I just don't need to kill just to kill. I've killed, when I first started, I killed anything I'd have a chance at. I just wanted to notch that tag, take meat home to my family and have success. Now, I mean, like I hunted back home for deer in Oregon and I didn't kill. I passed up everything because I never saw the animal that I wanted to kill. I never saw a mature buck, one that I wanted to get. So I just didn't kill. I mean, I don't need to kill. If I'm going to, it's going to be something that, I'm really, I don't know, infatuated with or just sold on. I really want that.
So it was just a matter of did you see good deer? You just didn't see a great one?
Yeah. So good bucks, probably most people would kill them, but I just didn't see the one I wanted.
Like what were you looking for? How big?
Like a big, 4x4, kind of like what you got there.
Mule deer?
That mule, but this is blacktail.
Blacktail.
Yeah, this is in Western Oregon. So a good 4x4 blacktail, 5 years old, good mature buck, and I just never had a chance at one, so I didn't kill anything.
Now these bear that you're killing in Alberta, is that where it was, or Alaska? Is that where was it? Prince of Wales?
This last one, like we showed that clip, that was Alberta.
Alberta. Are you eating these bears?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I eat everything I kill.
What does it taste like when you eat this big old bear?
Chicken. No. No. Bear, bear, I've had really good bear. And it used to be, so like if you have a bear that's living on berries and you get up there in the mountains, you kill it, it's going to be really sweet meat because it's eating blueberries or whatever else. If you have a bear that's coming in to bait, and like some people bait down here just with meat scraps or whatever, might have maggots, it's probably not going to be that good, But those bear in Alberta, mostly there's just grain is what we're putting out there. Little bear cracks, so those bear are really good. I don't know what it tastes like. It's more like, it's fatter meat, maybe more like pork, but it's good.
What are they eating for the most part? Like, what's their diet consist of in Alberta?
Man.
Whatever they can get a hold of?
Yeah. A lot of grass.
Vegetation,
A lot of grass. Yeah. Yeah. It depends on the time of the year. So, but they'll take some oats over grass any day.
Yeah, I watched this episode of Meat Eater with Steve Rinella where he went for these fall bears that were fattening up before they would hibernate, and they were eating berries. They were eating blueberries.
Yeah.
And it was incredible because as he was cutting this bear open, like you see the fat is actually blue.
Yeah.
It's got like a blue tint to it from all the berries that this animal had been eating.
Right.
And he said it was just unbelievably good.
Good, yeah, I know. And that's, you get those huge black bears, or if they're eating fish, like in Alaska, if they're down where, like on Prince of Wales, they can eat a lot of fish that come in. And those bears are huge because of all that protein. I mean, just it's all about their diet, and they get giant because they're eating solid protein all the time. But those bears aren't as good from fish for whatever reason.
They taste fishy?
I don't know about fishy, just not as sweet.
Yeah, because I've heard like diver ducks. Diver like there's two types of ducks for folks who don't know. There's ducks that eat vegetation, and there's diver ducks that go under the water and eat fish, and those kind of taste like shit.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's probably it's probably the same with anything.
You are what you eat.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're going to eat a person, make sure it's a vegetarian. Yeah, there's Steve Ranella with this blueberry fat bear.
Yeah.
This fat is just like a berry. It's almost half liquid at room temp. But if you read old accounts from like pioneering Alaskans, I mean, not even that long ago, even back in the 1950s, everybody would want to kill a big fat bear in the fall like this on berries.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have butter and oil, and they would kill these bears
Take the fat.
just to lay by a winter's worth of butter and oil.
Wow.
I shouldn't call it butter, but something to substitute is butter. You can just spread the fat. Once you cook it, you can spread the fat.
Another thing that's unfortunate is everybody can't do that because there's just literally not enough game for everybody. If the entire country went hunting,
Yeah, they're not going to. It's like I said, when I started writing about my hunts in the mountains, even people that thought they wanted to do it didn't want to do it. I mean, not everybody wants to do that.
yeah, it's hard work, man. It's hard work. I enjoyed it very, very much, but I'm not scared to work hard, and I like new experiences. So for me, it was very exciting and invigorating. But I could see someone who's a bitch who couldn't handle it.
Oh yeah, no, there's nothing easy about carrying all your gear, all your survival gear, trying to get an animal. I mean, sometimes I've been on hunts even now that are so tough. I wondered, how have I ever killed anything with a bow? It just seems impossible to get in bow range and make a good shot and then recover the animal, and it's just it's so tough.
Ranella was telling me about this moose that they shot where he had to carry it. They did nothing but go out to this moose, cut it up, and carry it back for 3 days because it was like a 9-mile trip.
Yeah.
So they would go to camp. They would get up in the morning, go hike out to where the moose was, take pieces of the moose, put it in their packs, and then walk back. And they did it for 3 days in a row. And he said he wasn't right for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Said his body was just broken down.
Yeah. No, that's you earn everything you get out of the mountains. They'll get it out of you one way or another.
Most people are just not going to experience that. It's unfortunate, but when you do it, the people that do it, they kind of, one of the thrills of it is that most people are not going to experience that.
No, but I think you should be able to respect it. That's the thing. So it's not saying you need to do it, but man, it's not too much to ask to respect what it takes.
Do you find that people disrespect it?
Well, I just think that they minimize. They're just thinking like, oh, do you think you're a big man from going out and killing? I get anti-hunters who post on some of my videos, or from killing an innocent animal. It's just like, no, you don't even get it.
Yeah. That's a weird thing that people love to say. They love to say that, you're killing an innocent animal. There's nothing innocent about being an animal, by the way. Animals are living by the wild. I mean, that's what they're doing. There's nothing innocent about it. It's probably the least innocent thing that a living creature does.
Yeah, if they have to kill to survive, any animal will.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's about.
Yeah, and by the way, they'll run you over with those fucking antlers.
Oh, yeah.
They'll make a charge of you and run those fucking things through you like a shish kebab.
Yeah, no, I know. It's so I just think, so that's kind of why I like videoing the work and the effort and all that, because you don't necessarily have to do what I do, but just respect it, and that's the thing. I mean, I don't show all that to try to get respect, but I just want, people have an easier time with bow hunting for whatever reason, because it seems like it's harder, then they'll easily say negative stuff about rifle hunting because they say, oh, you don't have to be close, or you can shoot from 400 yards or whatever.
Yeah.
But with bow hunting, for whatever reason, we get a little more of a pass because it is difficult. So, and rifle hunting is hard too. I don't want to say rifle hunting is easy because it's a whole different deal. You're hunting in, there's more competition with the rifle out there, so you're competing against other guys. The animals have been hunted a little more, so they're a little more wary by that time of year. So rifle hunting is still tough, and those guys have my respect as well. But just for the general population, it seems like bow hunting, and bow hunting is cool right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gaining in popularity. It's just,
Is it really?
yeah, it's just,
What do you attribute that to?
I don't know.
Cameron Haynes videos online.
It's all me. I did it all. No, I mean from Hunger Games.
Is that what it is?
Katniss out there. Well, it's just kind of cool. And then I get a lot of emails and correspondence from young guys who want to be more badass, so to speak. And bow hunting. I mean, shooting a bow is just cool.
Yeah.
Well,
for folks who don't even want to shoot anything, they don't want to kill an animal, you might be a vegetarian, whatever, you might just be fine, John Hackelman style, going to the supermarket and buying your steak. Nothing wrong with that, but I really love archery, and I've rediscovered it. I did it when I was a kid. I was in the Boy Scouts, and I enjoyed it then, but I never really got into it. I just did it a few times, and I always thought it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, since I picked up this bow, I guess I got it about a couple of months ago, I really enjoy it. I just enjoy shooting targets. It's really fun.
Right.
Because when you're concentrating on that target, you're not thinking of nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult. You're trying to be steady. And when you're trying to be steady, there's something zen in that.
Mm-hmm.
And when in that zen activity, there's something it's cleansing or something. I mean, I don't know what it is, but in order to really be accurate with a bow, it requires so much discipline.
Yeah, it does. And that's, getting out, shooting a bow. I like getting out in the summer, shirt off, listening to music, just by myself. I usually go by myself and just, there's something about watching an arrow arc and drop into the target.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, I don't know. It's powerful. It's relaxing. It's zen-like, like what you mentioned. And I think people see that. And then you look at the bows, and the bows look cool. Everybody, they're, You'll get into it also, but your arrow is like your signature. So everybody has their arrow, and it's got their colors. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you can get custom wraps on it. So I have wraps that say "Fear is a liar" and fletch that say "Beast mode." And so your arrow becomes, everybody. If you walk in someplace and you're shooting with other guys, everybody's looking at your arrow. It's just kind of cool. So you can customize. People, they see their bows and they take a lot of pride in how their bow is set up, and everybody believes that their setup is better than the next guy's because for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, people get so invested in archery. It's just, I don't know, it's powerful. And like I've said before, bow hunting has changed my life. I mean, I went from a kid who had no direction basically to now I know exactly what I want to do and who I want to be. And it's, allowed me to talk to Joe Rogan here in LA, bow hunting. That's just, I mean, that just seems crazy to me. So it's just a powerful deal.
And you're wearing an Under Armour shirt, man. Under Armour sponsors you. I mean, they make your shirts.
They do.
And just that alone. You're in an Under Armour commercial with a wolf.
Yeah, no, Under Armour, they've been my longest sponsor. And I think they told me I'm their longest tenured professional athlete.
Really?
Yeah, 9 years.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get involved with that?
It was actually, we were at SHOT Show, 10 years ago, I think. And I walked by their booth, and they had, there's a picture of Randy White. He was wearing Under Armour, and they had it in their booth. He's standing out there with a bow. Randy White played for the Cowboys, Super Bowl MVP. And he had this bow, and I'm like, dang, looks like a monster. He's like 50-some years old and just veins everywhere, just a stud. That caught my attention. I'm like, so I talked to Eric Crawford was the guy's name at the booth there, and I'm like, so how come you guys are here? I thought you were sports, just football and baseball, things like that. They go, oh, we're getting into hunting. And all they had was like the green or the brown, just tight stuff for hunting, just that first layer. And I said, oh, that's cool. So it just kind of, he had seen me. I was editing this magazine called Eastman's Bow Hunting Journal, and he had got the magazine. So he knew who I was. So it just kind of started from there. I signed on with them, and their hunting line now is huge.
Yeah, there's a commercial that I make fun of when it comes on because it's so silly. There's all these athletes. Like there's this woman who's like a professional skier, I guess. There's all these different athletes doing all this athletic stuff. And then there's a Duck Dynasty guy with his big fat moon pie face, and he's looking around. They're talking about athletes, and he's blowing his duck call. I'm like, that's not an athlete.
Dude, that's Willie. you can't.
Who's Willie? The fat guy's Willie?
Yeah,
you can't make fun of him?
I think that's like against some sort of law.
Nope, I just did. He's a fat fuck, and he's got a big fucking dinner plate face.
He's big boned.
He's fat. That dude's fat as fuck. That dude couldn't go hunting with you. He's sitting around waiting for ducks to fall out of the sky. But it's just hilarious that when his fat moon pie face comes on, no disrespect, that's when it says athlete. It's like they say the word athletes.
Yeah.
You know, that we make, clothes for athletes. Like, come on, man.
I know. They didn't call me for that.
They should call you for that, is what I'm saying. We need, do you think America is ready? I mean, look, we have this Duck Dynasty show, right? So it's a reality show, which is, let's be honest, it's not really a reality show. It's scripted. There's fake scenarios. But the premise of the show involves hunting, and I think that's fascinating. I think the show is ridiculous, but I like the fact that it's a hugely popular show, and the show's about hunting. And I think there's a real hypocritical attitude that a lot of people in this country have because of the fact that food is so readily available, because it's so easy to just go to the supermarket and buy food. People say, well, why would you want to get it yourself? You must be a cruel person that wants to go out and shoot animals. I think even though it's a baby step, a show where like a Duck Dynasty type show where you see these guys that are hunters and it's a hugely popular show where 16 million people watch it, whatever the hell it is, that's good. Because that's slowly starting to integrate. And it's okay because it's ducks, and people don't really have as much of an affinity to ducks as they do to Bambi. Like a deer hunting show would be a little bit more problematic. But they need to do a show with you, dude. This is what I'm getting at. A show with you out there. I'm telling them right now. They're listening. Trust me. There's a lot of Hollywood people listening to this show. Shows have been made because of people being on this show. That would be there's that fat moon pie face. Back that shit up. Look at this. Come on, son. Look at that big fat face. You are not an athlete, man. You gotta look.
Willie's
look
a
at
stud.
it. He's not a stud. Look
He's
at
a
that.
stud.
Look at that. That's a fat man. It's not a stud. You're a stud. That's a fat man. I know you're being nice, but you gotta cut that shit. I mean, he could be a stud. He's got the potential inside of him, but he's eating fucking Cheetos and moon pies.
His dad, on that show on Duck Dynasty, he was an athlete at, I think, Louisiana State or something like that. But his backup, he was a quarterback on the football team, Willie's dad, Phil, and his backup was Terry Bradshaw.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
That's interesting. But how come Phil's all angry at the gays?
He's
He's got real problems with the gays.
Yeah, he does.
Whoa, there's all these gays.
See, right there.
Gays.
Right
How
there.
good was Phil Robertson in football?
See, he was a stud.
Yeah, at one point in time. Now he's a gay basher. He's all angry about gays. Gotta let it go, Phil. They don't care about you. You shouldn't care about them.
But as far as me being on the TV show, so
nice segue and change gears. I like how you did that. That's professional. That's how a good man in the media would do it.
No, so I have to turn in a contract today for a reality show.
Do you?
Here in LA? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why you're here?
Yeah.
Okay, well, talk to me about it afterwards. I'll make sure they won't fuck you over because things get tricky in the world of reality TV.
Yeah. Well, this is just for the pilot.
Okay. Either way, if you sign on for the pilot, you sign on for the rest of your life. I have a friend who they asked him to do a reality show. And fortunately for him, he has his own business and he's doing well. But it was his girlfriend's idea. She wanted to do this reality show. And he read the contract and he calls me up on the phone. He's like, listen to this shit. It's like they own my likeness for life.
Yeah.
Like they own him for like what they're realizing because of all, like from Survivor to Fear Factor, all these shows on, is that they've realized like Fear Factor, Michael Yo is probably the only person that I know of that became famous because of Fear Factor. And Michael Yo is a comic, and he's on E! Really, really nice guy.
Wait, but you're famous.
Yeah, but I was famous already.
Okay.
I wasn't really famous already, but I was on a sitcom.
And I don't know who Michael Yo is. So.
He's a very nice guy. He's a comic. But my point was that, I guess I certainly became more famous because of Fear Factor. But Fear Factor really didn't make too many stars. But some of those shows made stars.
Yeah.
Some of these reality shows, whether it's The Bachelor or, of course, like the singing shows like American Idol made a lot of stars. So they've realized that there's potential money to be made once you're from you're on that show, they make you a star, and then you're a business, you're a brand. Well, they want that brand. So they are some unscrupulous producers and networks, they have these all-encompassing contracts that are insane. Like you're on this show, and then they fucking own you, and they can use your likeness till the day you die. I mean, they own you forever, and it's insane. And people are like, "I'll take it. I want to be famous." Like they'll do whatever they can. And so, like if you went and did something else, say if you did that, and the reality show takes off and does well, but or doesn't do well, and then gets canceled, and then you wind up doing something else, and that becomes they still own you. The first guy still owns you.
Well, I got the contract over there. You need to look at it.
Well, you need to get a lawyer to look at it. It's a tricky business, this world of reality TV, and they look at people as commodities, and they look at reality as being flexible. So their version of reality is not really reality. I mean, they're calling it reality shows, but a lot of what you're dealing with is these people that were involved in fiction. They were involved in like sitcoms or dramas or what have you, and they're producing reality TV now. So they engineer it. It's all fake. Like they have fake setups, fake scenarios. I had a problem with the show that I did for Sci-Fi where an editor put a fake scene in. They took a video, they added sound to the video, and they said that a listener or a podcast listener had sent this video in. Total lie. Complete fabrication. I found out about it and I went fucking crazy. I had a shit fit. I couldn't believe because especially my show was all about trying to find the truth. You know, it was about Joe Rogan questions everything except this fake fucking video, apparently. But it's standard. It's what they've always done. Yeah. They've just been, they do it because they think it makes a better, they call it creative license.
Right.
They think it makes a better show. It doesn't make a better show. They don't have to do it. They need to follow Cameron Haynes, the bow and arrow, hunting for elk.
Yeah.
What would we call it?
I don't know.
Let's do it off the air, because someone will fucking steal our idea. Off the air, we'll come up with a way to do it with you.
Okay.
You got to be careful, though, man. Don't get in bed with the wrong cats, because this is a sneaky town, you know, and they know, oh, look at this nice guy from Oregon.
Yeah.
He's a sweetheart.
Hillbilly.
Probably tells the truth all the time. Poor bastard. he's probably honest.
We'll eat him alive.
Yeah, out there hunting and everything. No, go hunt. We got your contracts, whatever. Don't worry about all that.
Yeah.
We'll take care of you. We'll take care of you. I think that'd be a great show. I've said that about Steve Rinella's show, too. Steve Rinella's show, in my opinion, is the best hunting show on television. Meat Eater is a great show. And it's a great show not just because it's a hunting show. It's a great, quote-unquote reality show. But it is a real reality show. Like, he got charged by a grizzly last night, the episode that I watched. Like, they were in the woods, and they were actually bear hunting. And a grizzly mother with her calf? No, what do we call them? Cubs?
Oh, cubs.
Cubs charged her and charged them, and it was fucking crazy. You see this giant grizzly running through the bush at them. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, that's intense.
And the narration, Steve is a really well-read guy. He's very intelligent and articulate, so it's fascinating. And he's an introspective guy, too, because the way he looks at these scenarios and life itself is really interesting. And him, just talking about grizzly bears and talking about, it becomes an interesting show outside of the fact that it's a hunting show.
Yeah. No, you could have a good show even, where the kill is secondary.
This is it right here. This is... Back it up so you can see it before she runs at them, because it's kind of fascinating. She was like circling around towards them, and they started to get nervous.
So were they grizzly hunting? Oh,
yeah, but they didn't want the female, obviously.
We chamber around.
Hey, Mom! Hey, Mom!
Yeah, they're trying to spook her.
Callahan is shooting out in front of her, and she doesn't care at all. And meanwhile, these three cubs are behind her like, what's going on? What's up, Mom? What's going on? I will shoot. I'm going to kill this sow. And she spun. Peels off, spins away, and Callahan says, I'll never forget, I want to get him a t-shirt with him and his mustache, and this, he says,
Smell us now, lady.
Smell us now, lady. That's the sentence that comes to Callahan's mind the minute a grizzly bear changes his mind, decides not to maul him. What he's referring to is, as she cuts, she gets like,
in the
she
wind.
gets like a downwind direction, And so Ryan's saying, like, now the wind will carry my odor to realize that we're people and we shouldn't be messed with. And so what he yells is, smell us now, lady. Which became kind of it's like the Meat Eater rallying cry now.
Seems like she would have known from the rifles going off too. But
Well, yeah. Well, she heard it as she was running. She was probably breathing and
Yeah.
growling and everything.
Yeah.
She probably didn't know exactly what it was until it was too late.
yeah, they get pretty tunnel vision about protecting.
I think these shows, there's an element of reality in a good hunting show that would be fascinating on regular television.
Mm-hmm.
And these shows, a lot of them, they're on the Sportsman's Channel, the Outdoors Network, or these. What channel is your show on?
Outdoor Channel.
The Outdoor Channel.
Yeah.
And so these channels, like a lot of people don't go to that area. Like for me, it's like 600, 605, 604, 606
Yeah.
on DirecTV. And a lot of folks don't go to that area unless they're looking for Mexican porn. That's like a few channels
That's
up.
606, isn't
That's
it?
618 or something. Well, there's some Fox Sports is there's Fox Sports 2 or something like that. It's up there as well. One of those, some sports channels are up in that area too. But it's just a weird area of the dial.
Yeah.
And I think it's unfortunate. I think that's the untapped area. I don't want to say this for Hollywood because these same fuckheads who make fake scenarios are going to come in and ruin it. But a show like Meat Eater or a show following you around elk hunting with a bow, there's so much drama and reality in that without having to add bullshit.
Yeah.
And someone's got to do something like that. I mean, Meat Eater does, but someone else could do it too, where you make a pledge. Like, there's going to be no lying. There's going to be no fake
real.
shit. This is all real.
Real.
And it's great.
Yeah.
You
Real
know?
emotion, real providing.
Yeah.
And, I've had that pitch to me recently about just showing, because just like the not only the training for the hunt, but the camaraderie, getting out there, like the challenges I do for my bow, giving back.
Yes.
Just that is all part of the story. And yeah, we're killing an animal at the end, hopefully, maybe not, because a lot of hunts end with no kill, but just the whole journey, and it seems like it would make good TV, but
Steve shows a lot of hunts that have no kills. I like that. I like that he keeps it real like that. I hate that expression though. Keep it real.
Yeah.
God, that expression's beaten up. That is a beaten up expression. But having that ethic, because he had a mountain lion hunt. They didn't even see a mountain lion.
Yeah.
They went for 9 days, didn't see one. He had a recent elk hunt, saw a bunch of elk, never got close enough to get a shot at one. And I think that's important, man. I think it's important to show people that it's called hunting. It's not called shooting.
right.
It's here we're going to shoot animals today. Come on, watch us.
Oh, people think that you drive out in a truck and drinking beer or whatever you do and just see something and just shoot at it.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely not my hunting.
Well, that is the problem that the public opinion of hunting faces is the ignorance.
Well, Hollywood helps that too.
Does it?
Yeah, I mean, just
Like that scene in Wolverine? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're showing supposedly hunters out there. They shoot this. I think it's actually Wolverine, as he was an animal, but shoot him with a poison pot arrow, which I've never even seen a poison pot arrow. But so has poison on the arrow, shoots him. He turns back into Hugh Jackman or whatever, and then he goes and he wants to.
Are you serious? I think you misread it. There was a bear.
Oh,
They
was
shot a
it?
bear. He found the bear.
Oh, was that
he
what
had
it
to
was?
kill the- Yeah, he didn't turn into a bear.
No, well, I thought it
Confusing
was
the shit out of people, man.
okay. So
How high were you when you were watching this, man?
no, I was on a plane actually,
Oh, okay.
so I was probably in and out of sleeping.
Oh.
But the point is they got this arrow out of the bear, I guess, and he found the hunters. They were at the bar, and they're drinking at the bar, and he went in there and shoved the poison arrow through the leader's hand, and it's just like, so it's just showing hunters as the bad people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like that doesn't help anybody. First,
Yeah.
I've never been to a bar after hunting, and definitely never used poison arrows. It's just like it's perpetuating that stereotype.
Well, yeah, and not only that, the way you shoot it, the poison wouldn't even get to him. It'd blow right through him. Poison being the arrow on the other side of town.
Yeah, right. No.
It's not even an effective way to transmit poison. You got to get into the bloodstream.
Yeah.
When you're shooting a missile through a bear's body, it doesn't work that way. No. Yeah, that is, look, these are Hollywood stereotypes. These classic black hat villains. It's just so easy to do. It's just lazy.
Yeah, that's all it is. But so I mean, yeah, I think people just have the wrong idea, and so having a show that would show that, success on elk with a bow is around 10%. So it's like 90% of the guys out there pursuing elk with the bow and arrow are failing. And it's not guaranteed. It is really tough showing that struggle. And that's why, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I train the way I do. I don't want to be in that 90%. You know, my goal is to be successful every single year. So if you do what the average guy does, you're going to fail 9 times out of 10. If you do more than the average, if you do more than anybody else or the standard, then maybe you'll have more success. And so as it is, I kill my bull every single year. And it's just, I think it's not because I'm any better. It's because I just work harder preparing. So,
well, you've become better through hard work.
Right.
You become better with knowledge. You become better with training, with fitness, with preparation, with arrow shooting. You shoot arrows every day, right?
Yep. Yep. So it's just, you know, and that's, but if people could see how difficult it really is and see that, you know, like we did film in Australia where we have no food, we have no water, it's 120 degrees.
You're drinking piss.
That, I think, you know, that would make compelling TV because they're like, wow, this is a lot different than I saw in the Wolverine movie, you know? And I don't know. I think it'd be not, I don't know. I think it'd be important to get out there because hunters are the number one conservationists there are and sharing that story.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, some people find that contradictory. It's like I had a conversation with someone, we were talking about people. And I was saying, well, okay, if you could only, you know, if you only hunted like one person a year, but the rest of the people, you made sure you fed them and you took care of them. They got great education and took care of their environment, made sure that the streets are clean. Would it be okay to go out and hunt one person?
Right.
You know, people were like, fuck no. And so, like, when you apply that to animal hunting, it's for a lot of people, that's sort of the same sort of feeling they have.
Yeah.
But what they don't understand is as the apex predator, people don't like to think of us as the apex predator, especially if you're a vegetarian or if you're an animal rights lover. But there's a war going on between all life forms on this planet. We are just so far ahead of the other animals that we forgot it's a war. And we forgot that we have these POW camps in our cities. We call them zoos. Okay, and that's what that is. Those are prisoner of war camps. That's what we dominate this planet. And the reason why you can get out of this off